That TV, baby.
Gears, he's basically asking for a welfare check. Are you there? Can you breathe? Gears, we need you back.
I just riding Feel like James Brown, this is pay. Back I feel like Ross, we put in work, I wanna make. Back she pop a perk and hit the blunt and then she laid. Back when I just been at the mall, we just made. Back feel like James Brown, this is pay. Back I feel like Ross, we put in work, I wanna make. Back she pop a perk and hit the blunt and then she laid. Back when I just been at the mall, we just made. Back hit him with the chopper, make him feel like he doing gymnastics. Black falling plastic, stretch it elastic. I'm doing magic, I smash it and grab it. I roll with head like lettuce and cabbage. We don't do talking, we all about action. I want it all and they want the fashion. This is my city, nigga, I'm the captain. I'm a hustle, being broke, not an option. This is scared, all white like cotton. She a freak, she suck, she swallow. Spaceship, nothing like the Apollo. Old school, 6'7" Impala. When it come to trapping, they say I'm a scholar. Universal, so I'ma go farther. They jewelry fake, so they some imposter. Taking off in my own lane. They wired up, giving whole name. Niggas really living fantasy. They make believe like soul plane. You ever seen a nigga whole brain? We saddle up like the Kentucky Derby. My cush furry, hey, your vision blurred. P.I. the best, seeing all the stir. Feel like James Brown, this is pay. Back I feel like Ross, we put in work, I wanna make. Back she pop a perk and hit the blunt and then she laid. Back when I just been at the mall, we just made. Back feel like James Brown, this is pay. Back I feel like Ross, we put in work, I wanna make. Back she pop a perk and hit the blunt and then she laid. Back when I just been at the mall, we just made. Back
24/7 be moving them 30s, 30 round drums, shooting Steph Curry. Infrared beam, I won't miss a thing. Carbon 15% like a surgeon. 24/7 be moving them birdie. Not talking tennis, but nigga, I'm serving. Give me a 10 and stick on Perkin. Watching for 12, for big first and dirty. I get it, I'm gon' pull off in a hurry. Present you purpose and into my slurping. Underground pain, I'm still riding dirty. Nigga rich road, this shit call me dirty. 4 before I'm sipping on muddy. Play me some pimpin', I'm feeling like roughing. Sky's the limit, you can't tell me nothing. My bitch is a dime, I met it in Russia. Foreign machine, interior custom. I say that I love her, but no, I don't trust her. 24/7, I get it, I hustle. Slash coach, ballin' been Russell. I've been in these streets, my profit I double. I'm back on the scene, you niggas in trouble. I'm feeling too high, I'm seeing in double. MoneyBoy Trey, I get it, I hustle.
feel like James Brown, this is pay. Back I feel like Ross, we put in work, I wanna make. Back she pop a perk and hit the blunt and then she laid. Back when I just been at the mall, we just made. Back feel like James Brown, this is pay. Back I feel like Ross, we put in work, I wanna make. Back she pop a perk and hit the blunt and then she laid. Back when I just been at the mall, we just made. Back. I just ride.
Hello, Brianna, and a mouthful. Lashae is she's running off right now, so I'm doing my intro. So we probably got like 6 more minutes of songs. I hope that doesn't bother y'all. I want to let y'all know I did let y'all in, and I'm just kind of winging it until Lashae pops back up with her introduction.
Hey. Wait.
I think he ain't done with his song.
Are you ready, Lashae?
Can everybody hear me?
Ma'am, when you see yourself muted and the music playing, you're not supposed to hit it. But since you're here, go ahead and do this shit. This is your show. This is your time to shine. Do your thing, baby.
Hey, everybody. So you see what's in the back? Shades Heart to Heart. Anyways, I'm here. We here again. I'm so excited. Look, I've just really been planning this. I'm like, okay, so how we going to do this? Like the last show, Women Empowering Women, we were speaking on the men actually doing this. I was like, how we going to do this? I was like, maybe the men would not do this without the women. But thank you, Trey, thank you for the platform for this. Yeah. But we're here tonight to really speak on men and women. And for those that don't know, I am officially a life coach. And so pretty much I have Shay's couch conversation. So we are on the couch having a conversation. But
I need you to explain to the people that don't know what it is that you provide as a life coach.
as a life coach, well, let me break it down first. A life coach is not a therapist or a counselor. I do not prescribe medicine. I cannot say someone's a narcissist or need this. I'm not a hip. I don't. I'm like, you need to go take therapy. I cannot recommend anything on any plane. I'm literally just a motivational friend. If you, I'm perfect for the people that if you don't believe in therapy or counseling, like that's like her and I, we like it's just a phone conversation,
right?
We can do via Zoom. We can via Zoom or even on the phone, or even if you want to do it in person, just make sure we have our mask, whatever. Of course, we don't have one now. But I'm just saying, I'm just a motivational friend. I'm just speaking about my wisdom and just listening to you. That's it, and giving you advice. Now you can take it or don't take it. That's all I do.
You have somebody gave you a hold on. I'm about to put it up there. You have a secret admirer in the chat. He's not so
really.
He's from Memphis, by the way.
I know. Yeah, it wasn't. What did we had a vibe last time?
Yep.
Hey, Huggy. but yes, hey, Huggy. But so, are you gonna be on the show, Huggy?
Is it on?
And Huggy.
I don't know.
Huggy likes dreads too.
Oh, but yeah. So, just to further explain, I am starting off with $25 an hour for any just any kind of Zoom or any kind of phone call. Now, I personally would not want to do a face-to-face due to the pandemic. So if we have to do it that way, we're in Memphis. Hey, we happen to be at McDonald's, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. But it's $25 an hour. So just hit me up, and I am updating my cards. All right, but just check me out on Shay's Couch Conversation. So I will be having conversations on there and spreading wisdom as well as Shay's Heart to Heart. But anyways, that's supposed to be at the end. But we are here tonight to speak on men and women. And the reason why it's so important is because I'm seeing this war on men and women, especially Black men and women. And people are like, well, so we're here.
One of your homegirls showed up and fell off. I forgot her name. She came.
Hey, Natasha.
A mouthful came in.
Yeah, Natasha. And so, so that's what we're here to speak on tonight. So I'm opening up the panel with a very powerful question that we were talking about on the phone. So the first question is, do you believe that you are an alpha female, or it's like alpha, beta female, alpha, beta male, and why? I saw that, Huggy.
Ladies always first.
Oh, you.
Well, I guess I can go first since nobody else taking the floor. I guess I'm a alpha female because I guess I like to take charge. I like being the lead role, but I can also be, I guess, a beta. I can be submissive to a man when he, if I feel that he can lead. If he can't lead, then I automatically take that leadership role, so to speak.
We were talking because you were saying I'm an alpha female. I don't think I'm an alpha female.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even put myself in the category of a beta or alpha.
Right.
I just know how to take care of business when I need to. So I'm still trying to understand what that's supposed to be like. So we right.
So what's y'all real opinion what an alpha or beta is? Anybody?
I don't subscribe to any of those terms because every male can be an alpha when they need to be, and they can be beta when they need to be. Most of us are beta by nature because we don't like conflict until we have to defend ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, so in other words, what MoneyBoy is describing is what I call it? Alpha, beta. Oh, sigma. He's describing a person who's a sigma, and basically what a sigma is.
So you just gonna go through all the Greek alphabet, bro?
I am. but I'm stock at Sigma. But basically, what a Sigma is a person who can have the trait of an alpha and a beta at the same time. They balance it out. And majority of a lot of people are like that. They're either one alpha or a beta. They're either or. They could switch out either or.
Okay.
He say he's a Kappa.
Anybody else?
I'm a Delta male. What's going on, Neutral? The link is in the panel if you would like to join this discussion. This is a discussion that Lashae's couch discussions wanted to have with men and women, just to have a positive and learning discourse about men and women, since we typically don't get to have a conversation where we all sit around and just make each other aware of the problems or the issues that we may have with each other. So hit the link, Neutral, if you can.
And the reason why I was asking that question was because I see a lot of females that's making female like I'm an alpha female. I have no idea what that is. So, but most definitely, I think that's something to be discussed, because it's a lot of females now with entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. Whoop whoop! There's shout out to Alexandra right here. She's writing her book. I'm finishing mine. Yes. Natasha's a publisher, notarizer. She just actually published her third book. I think I don't have it on me, but she has it. But she have her book on her, I'm sure. But so we as here to honestly find some solutions, because I'm seeing a war between Black people, and it really is very frustrating. And I understand that other colors, other backgrounds, or races may feel some type of way, but we as Black people need to come together, especially men and women. And we need to really come together with a real solution. That's the whole point of this sit down. To sit down and talk about our problems. And another thing that I was watching, another thing I want to discuss, I was watching Tony Gaskin earlier, and he had mentioned men and what's like men and the biology of men and the makeup of a man and what makes a man. I am not a man. But one thing he mentioned was, he mentioned is one thing that a man absolutely needs, like overall everything. Do y'all know what that is?
Respect. It's really big for men. Respect.
Peace.
And you said peace.
With respect.
Yeah, peace.
Peace. Why you say that?
Because that's what a majority of the men will say, that they want peace. And when they talking about peace, they talking about, in most cases, they talking about mental peace. They want to be able to come home to their house where it's not chaotic, especially when they go out into the world every day and deal with a chaotic world.
Okay.
They're going to war outside
of the playoffs, I think.
They're going to war outside in the world. So when they come home, they want peace. They don't want to be worrying about everything they did outside. So peace is important.
Okay. Well, Tony Gaskin, he was mentioning about a man. One of the first things a man will actually must have is money. And I think that was big. He was like, a man do not want to have a woman that's constantly griping him about money, about like things he needs to do as a provider. He was speaking about the primitive of or the role of a man being a provider, and being a provider is more than just giving out money, but like we actually went into a man being a provider for his actual family. Not just you, because before he met you, he had brothers, sisters, best friends, teachers. He had mentors. He had all these different people that he was providing for more than monetary. He was providing emotionally, mentally, physically. He was there to protect. He had nieces and nephews, and that's what he's here to. He's here to provide. And one thing as a woman, you have to understand that man's drive to provide is the most important thing, and what we need is money. So if a man don't have money, if he's constantly going to work and he's busy all the time, and you trying to say I want more time, you don't understand that's a primitive thing. As a woman, you need to make it easy for him to go ahead. Either you have your own income and you come together with him or something, but a man needs to know that he can provide in every way for his family and himself. That's one thing that Tony Gaskin was speaking on, and it really hit home for me. What do y'all think about that?
So let me get an understanding of what you're saying. You're saying Tony Gasket is saying that a man want a woman to have money to help support him as a leader.
No. He was saying that a man's primitive role, or what drives a man, is to provide, be a provider of all, like in every area, not just like with money. That's like one of his biggest things. A man wants to provide, whether he is considered as an alpha male or beta male. He wants to provide. He wants to be there in every way.
So basically what you're saying is that the man he's the one who's providing the resource, which in this case is money. Is that correct? And
yeah, but he was speaking of more than money though. But he said money is one of the biggest. He said money is one of the most one of the things that we will notice first that a man can provide. But a man can provide emotional support. He provide spiritual support, emotional support. He's a protector, and when you look at like a real man, you will see that if he have nieces, if he have sisters, mom, he's going to be there for all of his family members. He's going to try to be there. It's not just you he's providing for, it's other people.
But there's things that money can't buy, right? If you look at third world countries, we can't say that those aren't men because they don't have money, right? There's other ways you could provide that don't require cash at all. Okay. And to me, that might be even more of a necessity. If you're a man that's resourceful, then you're a man whose cup runneth over. So I don't think money is the main objective here. I think
like I hear feelings. So what? So what?
Playing games. Listen, if money is the main objective, and I think that's what's happening, and I think that's the problem. We're too focused on the money aspect, and that has our moral compass, that has our discernment, and as far as how we pick our mates, it's all out of whack as a result of focusing on money first.
And here's another perspective too. When you mention the term that the man he's the sole provider, he's provided all these different avenues of resources. Whether it's financial, he's providing spiritual support, he's providing mental support, not only for his household but for the community as well. That raises the big question that every man is asking right now. So what are you bringing? If I'm bringing all this, then what are you bringing? Are you just rely on me to bring all this and you're not bringing nothing?
Shout out to Uncle Fed for pulling up. Anybody that wants to hit the link, by the way, this is an open panel for males and females. The link is in the description box if you want to add something to the conversation. Again, shout out to Uncle Fed for coming through, sir. Salute. I'm sorry for being rude, but Uncle Fed just like his first time coming in the room, so I had to shout him out. Come on, Queen Maya, don't be quiet. Say something. Don't be back there just smiling. Say something.
I am saying something. I've been talking. Yeah,
rebut what Urban just said. Rebut what the Urban T just said.
Yeah, I completely with him 100%. A man that's being resourceful is more valuable than a man just have money, because you ain't gonna always have money. So you be able to, think fast and being able to be quick on your feet is much more valuable, I think, to a household than just you having money all the time. Are you mentally stable? Can you really show respect? Like I said, that's the number one thing I think important for men and for women is just to have respect.
Also, to add to that, if money is to be objective, then what does it say for people's status in America, for example, or North America? If we're supposed to be at the bottom financially, then what does that say about our men? Does that mean that we're not men? Does it mean that the objective is to go after another race because they have money, right? So there's other factors at play that to me are more valuable as a man that other races, such as our race, exhibits, and that's what we need to be focused on, not just cash.
Asking he was actually talking about more than money. He was saying a man is like a man can be emotional supportive, he can be spiritually supportive, like in every way he wants to provide. That's the trait of a healthy man, not just money. But look, my friend, she wasn't able to get on with her phone, and this is also a guest. I don't know if everybody can hear her. I'll make sure she's on my phone. But this is Tina. Shantina, say hey.
Hi.
Can everybody hear her?
Yeah, I can hear her.
Okay, Tina. So the question, so we were talking about what I'm trying to say. I forgot the question. It's about men being providers, right? I'm trying to see.
Yeah, it's what's important to it. What's the most important thing for a man?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What's the most important thing for a man? Can you answer that question?
What's the most important thing for a man?
Yeah,
in a relationship.
Just period.
Just period.
I mean, to be a provider, to be the man, to make sure that he is stable, to make sure that he can lead.
That's a big one.
Can everybody hear?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear her.
Yeah, we can hear y'all. Where did your friend go that showed up? Is she acting funny now? She showed up at first.
Maybe I don't know.
Who?
Okay, Tina, what was you saying, Tina?
Oh,
I'm gonna need you to say something, mouthful.
I'm sorry. I just came back inside the house. I was helping with my grandmother getting inside the house, but I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, Tina. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Natasha. Tina was saying something.
I'm sorry.
What was you saying, Tina?
No, the last thing I said was to be, to lead, to naturally lead as a man. He has to know how to do that.
Like, could you describe what that looks like for you?
To make sure the woman is secure, basically security. To give that woman some type of security where she won't have to worry about, should I step in and be the leader?
Right.
Wow.
But what about in a position like, well, maybe she's stronger in an area that he may be lacking in. Maybe he's, maybe he have to step back in the situation.
That's the thing. A man say they want a strong woman, but if they not prepared for a strong woman, they will always say that, well, she don't need no man. She act like a man. So, as a woman, you're supposed to be there for the man. You're supposed to be their backbone.
Right.
But it's up to that man to accept that. But if he's not mentally prepared for that, then he will always think that a dominant or independent woman don't need a man.
Right.
Let me ask y'all a question. What is y'all definition of a strong woman? Because I hear this term a lot, so I just want to get y'all perspective about that.
Hold on. She said she didn't hear you.
No, I said, but what is y'all perspective about what is a strong woman?
Did you hear, Tina?
He said, what is a strong woman?
Yeah, what's your definition of strong woman?
Definition of a strong woman to me is a woman that it doesn't matter what obstacle comes her way, she knows how to tackle that obstacle without falling and not getting back on her feet, staying strong while maintaining being strong, making sure that she's doing what she needs to do for herself, or if she has a family to provide for her. Just making sure that even if she comes, even if she goes through something, she keeps her head up, and it's okay to cry, but make sure you bounce back. Make sure you get back up again and do what you need to do as a woman.
Right, and not being afraid to ask for help when you need to, knowing that you can, can be vulnerable in a situation, knowing that you gonna have to tap in to your spiritual self if need be, or or ask that man to be the leader when you need him to be, when you feel like you can't do it. So I believe.
Should you ask a man? Should you ask a man, or should he automatically know how to lead as a man?
That's a question. That's a question. What was the question?
She said to ask a man.
No, I'm saying when you not like ask him, like being able to come to him when you feel like you can't, be your backbone. He has to be your backbone too, because right, he should be able to feel vulnerable to come to you, and you should be able to be vulnerable to come to him. That's what I mean, like an ask.
Okay, this the reason why I asked that question is because everything that y'all just described, you just said it earlier about what Tony Gaskett said about the attributes of a man, that a man should be a protector, provider, and all these different things. But when I ask y'all what they say strong woman, y'all describe exactly the same exact things that is supposed to be a role of a man. And this is where the confusion comes from.
Yep.
And this is where the disconnection comes from. And this is why men push back from it all the time, because women, in other words, modern day women try to take on the role of the man. They want a man to be submissive to them, but yet they don't want to be submissive to the man.
You know what they
respect the gender role.
You know what they described? A strong single woman.
Absolutely.
That's what they described.
Absolutely.
Or an independent woman, as we call them, right?
Yeah, independent woman. Well, the newest term is modern day woman.
Modern woman, yeah.
Well, I've been called independent myself, and I don't think I'm independent. I hope you can see me. I don't think I'm independent, but I think I call myself interdependent. Like, I know how to, if it need be, I know how to do what I need to do for my children, for my family, especially with being a single parent. But then if it comes to something that I cannot do, I know how to call and ask for help. For example, my couch. It's funny because I was sitting on it. My couch, it broke, like the leg broke, and I'm not really good with the drill. So I called the men, like the males in my phone. One showed up, and I was like, I do not know how to use a drill. Could you help me? And I think it really made the people I reached out to, I think it made them feel good about themselves, like, oh, she needs me. And but I was like, I can't drill this in myself. Not that I could not do it, because I'm sure I can just do it, but I'm not really good with the drill. I didn't want to mess up my couch. So I've learned how to ask for help when I need to, but I found that at times when I'm in a stuck place, I don't have the availability. For example, I remember an ex-boyfriend, no lie. For whatever reason, when it's cold, you know how when the door, like your key can get jammed in the door? Well, let me see if you can see me. Like my key got jammed in the door. And I called him. I said, hey, I used to call him E for, short for Elijah. I'm like, hey, E, could you come and help me with my key? Now, me not knowing that all I needed was some oil, and I had like some kind of oil in my purse. I always have oil in my purse. And so he was like, do you have some oil in your purse? And the girls now, we sitting outside for at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And as soon as I call him and say, hey, I'm going to be there. And he was way in Arkansas. This guy came in, put some oil on the key. There you go. I was like, okay then. And I felt all my pheromones. Like, well, okay then. I know you just came in, just gone on and helped us in the house. And I just felt good because I'm like, wow, a guy actually came out that actually cares to make sure that we can, that we can actually get in the house. And I've been in situations where my tire was flat. I can clearly put my tire back on, but I've been in situations where I was just about to do it and I, have my car on a neutral or whatever. Guy was like, nope, let me do this. I'm like, okay. I still stood back. So I don't have an issue with letting a man do those things for me. I would rather men do it.
Right.
Could you women read the comment on the screen and let me know if y'all agree with what he said or not?
He said, I think a strong woman is one that can think with common sense and reasonable without letting their emotions let their life choice for okay, yeah. I totally agree. Yeah.
I was gonna say something not okay. So the question was, what is a strong woman? So I don't think it's anything you do. I think it's more of a mental thing or you being in your feminine that makes you a strong woman. I agree with what said on the screen, like common sense. Being reasonable with your emotions, not leading with your emotions, being able to handle things, but also being able to step back when needed to be. And then when it comes to like the modern day woman, like, yes, we do have modern day women, but I do also feel like we have some very submissive women. And I just find it real funny when men like women should submit to men, but it should go both ways. Like you're both supposed to submit to one another. It's supposed to be a balance between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So when I think of a strong woman, I think of someone being able to manage their feelings, manage their emotions, and being able to make moves that maybe the masculine couldn't, but it got to be a balance.
Yeah, and your
think.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in your rebuttal, I agree with that because I believe that that's the mental place where a woman's supposed to be at anyway. And also y'all saw rebuttal and also saying that the independent woman she's alone pretty much. She don't have a man, so she have to do certain things that a man does. That situation, that's understandable. Because you're a single woman or you may be a single mother, so you just have to do what you got to do to take care of your household, and that's very understandable. But the disconnect happens is when you take on that same role, enter into a relationship, and don't know how to tone it down and allow the man to be that leader that you need him to be. Where instead of you immediately trying to fix the doorknob, you can rely on that man, knowing that man is going to do it for you, or any other thing like change a tire or anything like that. Because we as men, we understand that there are a lot of physical labor things that women are incapable of doing. They can do it, but they're incapable of doing it just due to biology. But we're more stronger and our bodies can handle it more. So we have no problem with doing that. But it's the whole point, like we were saying earlier, so the whole point about the respect and the peace of doing it. And appreciation as well.
And you know something about that, like I totally agree. And I've been a wife before, and I found myself being in a place where I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to lift a finger. I'm like, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to ask, and I could be completely feminine and soft and nurturing. I found myself just being in this very soft, vulnerable place. But when I was going through my separation and now being divorced and moved here in Memphis, Tennessee, it changed for me. I got to a place where I was like, man, I got to be strong now. I don't want to be strong, but I have to be strong. And I found myself having to work 2 jobs. I found myself having to beg somebody to watch my children, having to lose jobs because I couldn't make it there that day. And I found myself just struggling a lot earlier. And now it's much smoother now that I'm an entrepreneur, thank God, for the strength, Lashae, right? And so it's just been a lot of transitions with that. But I can honestly say having a man just there, like coming home and you cooking dinner and bath water, it's just a different energy.
Yeah.
And April Mason, she actually speaks on the feminine woman, being a CEO, being a boss, but she's doing it in her feminine energy. She's not doing it in this hoorah type of energy, but she's soft, she's nurturing, and a man naturally comes to her. So I actually follow her as well. And I think I subscribe to the things that she say as well. So check her out, April Mason. And she speaks on smelling good, looking good, skin soft, and still being able to take care of your business, but you're doing it with finesse. You're not doing it like you're not doing it bragging about what you're doing. You're doing it like, hey, look, I have survived this thing. But when it comes down to it, if I'm in the presence of a real man, I don't care who you are. Look, as a woman, certain things happen within our bodies when a real man is in our presence. We like, okay, what you say? If you say go feed a horse, we're gonna go feed a horse in the presence of a real man, because that man's like, hey, that's all he had to say. And even my daughters, I have to say with my dad, we had a conversation. My dad called my daughter because my youngest daughter's birthday was on the 20th. My dad had a conversation with her, and the way she submits to him, the way she, even the way she reacts to him is totally different with me. I'm like, Daddy, why she don't listen to me like that? My dad's because I'm a man. And women naturally, we have a natural, I don't know what it is, but when a man steps in the room, we like, okay, what you need?
Right.
And it's not even sensual, but it's like,
right.
Well, it's like that little girl in us come out,
right?
So.
Yeah, because that's the natural order of nature. The natural order of nature is for a woman to automatically submit to a man, because that's what is built into you naturally, and it's also built into you spiritually as well. And when the modern day woman hear the word submit, they think of it as a man being narcissistic or being controlling or trying to downplay them or belittle them, which there are men that does that. There are toxic men that absolutely do that. So we can agree on that. But at the same time, there are other men who are actually in their masculinity roles, and they're actually doing it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to know the difference between the two, the difference between that toxic man and that man who's actually fulfilling his purpose in his role.
Or can we define them as male and man? Because anybody, like a male is born, but a woman naturally submits to a man, not just a male.
I mean, we could have definitions for it. It's fine to separate them.
Because not all males are men.
Right.
Mm.
Well, I put it to you this way: not all men are at a level of maturity where they need to be at. And that's due to different situations, like upbringings, just different life situations.
On the phone, be quiet. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey, Miss Faith.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Good conversation.
Hey.
Hey. Shout out to the panel.
What you said?
Hey, y'all up on this thing doing it. But I just want to, jump up. Shout out to MoneyBoy and Joy. Shout out to y'all as well. Shout out to the chat as well. But let's talk about it. Okay. And the reason why I said that is because we actually have to understand that when we were young, a lot of things that we saw and a lot of things that we took in from our parents, from our grandparents, from, individuals, we grew up thinking that this is the right thing to do. This is the right way that we need to dress, the way we look. When it comes to males, they, may feel the same way. And in
Absolutely,
order
I
to
agree.
keep a relationship, it has to be a balance. And it has to be a balance between both of you all. So when it comes to a man, we have to understand that, a lot of men didn't have their fathers. A lot of men didn't have their mothers. Some did, some didn't. Okay. And we got to understand that when it comes to women, same thing. Okay. So we got to understand that women have went through a lot of things as well. Women have, gave birth to kids, what I'm saying, have seen some things, have, took big roles in life, even today. But then we got to understand that when it comes to a man holds themselves to a certain level. A lot of them don't know how to love. A lot of them don't know how what it feels like to really have a woman. A lot of men miss that boat. Even if you was involved with a man at that time. At that time, he was a man. So we can't say that he wasn't a man because at that time when you was involved with him, he was a man to you. Okay. Regardless of what happened, what the situation was at that particular time, that was your man. You understand what I'm saying? But we got to balance it off because we got to realize at that time you was trying to, and I'm saying all of us, not just individual, one particular person. I'm saying all of us. When it comes to relationships, it has to have balance. And if it don't have balance, then something will throw it out. Sometimes it can be the chemistry. Sometimes it can be some things that didn't happen in his life that he wasn't openly willing to share with you. It could be some things that happened in your life that you wasn't really willing to open and share with him. And sometimes things like that clash. Okay. And like I said, man's it's to me, now this is my point of view, it's hard for them to really just come out here and try to find a woman because now we got to keep it real with women. It's a lot of women play games too. Okay. So when we put this on the scale, we got to put the man in the woman on the scale. We can't just put the man down here and then say, well, I'm looking for a man or I want, this from a man. And then yet and still that we got a lot of females that play games with a man and they in their mind they don't want to, they allow women to be in their space, but at the same time they set boundaries due to the fact because of some other woman and took them through some changes, even though you're not that woman. It happens even the same thing when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to a woman. You don't want to get in that space because another man has hurt you or you went through this or you had kids and he promised to be here, da da da. I'm just using this example. My name is Faith.
Hey, Miss Faith, do you mind defining balance?
Yes. So we got to understand that when it comes to balance, that means that we got to be willing and able to digest each other, you know what I'm saying, life. A lot of people say, hey, I'm willing to be in this relationship, but at the same time, I'm accepting this and this and this from you. But this right here, I really just don't want to accept, but I'm accepting because I'm with you anyway. We have to balance our life out with each other and understand where that man came from as well. And that man needs to understand the things that you done came to see. The thing about it is people don't want to be real when they meet. When you meet, you have to be real with that man, and you got to lay things down at the table. And either he gonna sit down or he gonna get up. You understand what I'm saying? And that's how it is. A lot of women, we don't want to be real with the men due to the fact because the men that took us through so many things. And then you find a lot of men that don't really want to be real with the woman because another woman that took him through so many things. So that's why when you meet someone, you want to be upfront with them. You want to let them know, hey, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. This is what I achieved. Now you tell me a little bit about you. You understand what I'm saying? And you let them know, hey, this is where I'm going in life. I need to know, do you have the same energy? Or are you willing to go, you know what I'm saying, go forward with me being in a relationship with you. You find a lot of people now. I got to be honest with y'all, ladies. We find a lot of people a lot of men that has been hurt, been scarred, been talked about, been dragged through the mud. And I don't really think that people really understand a lot of things. Now, listen, I'm not taking up for the ones that's, the doggy out world, or, knew that he's supposed to be loyal, faithful to you and wasn't, or whatever. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about we really do have some real men out here that willing to step up to the plate. Then we have some that's not willing to step up to the plate. So I don't really think that it's fair to put all men's in a certain, you know what I'm saying, a certain
Your certain bubble.
situation. I don't think it's fair, because guess what? All men didn't do it to us. All men didn't make us feel or make us even think or take in consideration of why we had to change our life, why we had to re-instruct our life, why we had to come back and sit down and think about some things that coulda, shoulda, woulda. See, we have to think about all that when it comes to a relationship.
So Miss Faith, Miss Faith, is it safe to say that balance starts from within first before you bring it into the relationship? Because
Yes.
everything that you describing, you was describing different traumatic experiences between a man and also a woman as well. So if they have these different traumatic experiences, or as we say, we have all this baggage, would it be safe for us to first work on ourselves and get ourselves balanced? Then once we have ourselves balanced, then if we are entering into the realms of a actual relationship, then the relationship would be more successful or more balanced instead of bringing negative balance.
And I agree with you. We got to understand that every relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it was cordial, whether it was a baby daddy, whether it was a baby mama, in certain situations, people were hurt. And I don't think that people give them they self time to heal. Can I go there? They don't give themselves time to heal without them jumping into another relationship 6 months, a year later. Sometimes it takes time for you to build yourself back up to the person that you knew you was and the person that you're supposed to be. A lot of people don't understand that, but that is real. It's real when it comes to a woman. And we're very emotional creatures. Can I go there? We're very emotional. So we'll speak out, we'll say things, and sometimes men don't understand that when they say we talk too much, but what they fail to realize, we be really telling you, and they are not listening. But then you got to understand that when it comes to a man, sometimes a man turned that deaf ear, because guess what? They heard it all before. So you got to sit down and you got to balance yourself before you even decide to jump into any relationship with anyone. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen, that includes friends as well. Okay, so you got to understand who's there, what are you looking for in your life, and you got to be honest with a person to let them know, look, I done been through this before, and this is where I'm at now, and I refuse to go back. I am moving forward in my life. This is where I'm at, and this is where I'm gonna be. Now, either you're gonna sit down at this table, or you're gonna get up. And that's the main purpose that people need to realize when it comes to a woman and when it comes to a man. Because I know a lot of brothers that got themselves together more than some of these females. I know a lot of men that has their own place, their own business. They're trying to do what they need to do. They're taking care of their kids. They financially stable. And guess what, women? To be honest with you, sometimes women be looking for that. Okay, and then you got to find. Let's take it on the other side. We got to realize that we got some sisters that got themselves together and been through some things in their life, then built themselves up, got their own, you know what I'm saying, business and stuff like that. And you find some men that see that and want that. So you got to, when you in a relationship or you trying to find a relationship or you're being with someone, you want to find someone to meet, in the middle. Not the women bring everything and then the man relax, or the man bring everything and the woman relax. It's a chemical balance on all of this: emotional, physical. You understand what I'm saying? And spiritual. Okay, let's not leave that out. Okay, we have to understand that it's a balance to all of this when it comes to a relationship. And just like women, we express ourselves, but when it comes to a man will hold things inside of them, and you won't really know until they ready to talk about it. But when it comes to a woman, we're gonna talk. We're gonna let you know when it hurt. We're gonna let you know how we feel. We're gonna let you know what I'm saying, how we feeling about, or the decisions that, you making or I'm making or whatever. We got to understand that when it comes to relationship, we really got to understand we got to be together before we even think about, you know what I'm saying, bringing somebody else in our life. And if we have, then that person needs to be understanding and willing to know what you've been through and what they won't take you through.
Hey, Miss Faith, you mentioned that a man like to hold their feelings aside. What do you believe is the reason behind it?
Hurt. I believe that, like I said, women are emotional and men's are not, and to a certain degree. Let me put that out there. But men's hold a lot of things inside. In order for you to really understand your man, you got to understand who he is first. And then sometimes we still miss it because of so many things that men hold inside and certain things that they will give out because they don't want to give everything out so a woman can really figure them out. Can I go there? Okay. And then sometimes we got to understand that, the little information that they do give us, take into consideration and sit back and watch them. Because one thing about men's always tell on themselves, you know what? Actions speak louder than words. That's a man. Real talk. And the only thing you got to do is watch his actions, the way he worked, the way he dressed, the way he, do his finances, the way his car, all of that. You can be able to tell. Go ahead.
I wanted to say something to the point when you were saying why men don't share their feelings. And I guess it just all refers back to, like, okay, women be we gonna go back to the very beginning, like women being
Hmm.
strong and being able to pick up the pieces, where it's actually like has been shown that men are like not strong mentally or not strong emotionally enough to bounce back like women do. So
I
sometimes them not
you
sharing,
say it has been showed that.
it's been shown that men are not mentally able to bounce back from, I guess, like past trauma or old relationships that didn't work, that they were probably vulnerable in. That
Okay.
when they
Um,
did
I
share,
yeah,
disagree
or
with that.
I disagree with that
Yeah,
too.
I disagree with that.
Yeah, I do too.
When
The
when
the oh go
not
go
being
ahead,
able to
PP, go
trust
ahead, man.
somebody to
when
give
you
information, I think that plays a major part.
well when you look at divorce stats and how men get the short end of the stick, they lose their house. Some men are living in the basement. They have to rebuild it themselves, right? So men have to go through a lot more after a divorce or separation. On top of that, they tend to lose their social circle. Usually, the friends go and gravitate towards the wife or that spouse rather than the men. So they lose a lot when it comes to separation or divorce that they have to build back up, and a lot of men end up committing suicide. Right, but for the most part, men have to go through a lot, and they do. They are able to overcome and bounce back and get into either another relationship or another marriage. But it's a lot more that a man has to do to build himself up to be more desirable for a next suitor. Right. So it's definitely something that men are capable of doing.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Well,
I feel like y'all just said the same thing I just said. It takes
well,
men a while to bounce back.
well,
Like,
in other words, what he's saying is that
You said
the
men
the
are not
reason the reason
mentally strong enough, right?
yeah
I
he was
didn't say you weren't strong enough. I said it takes them a while to bounce back. It takes them longer to bounce back than a woman. That's what I said.
And I'm
Just
gonna
like
say,
when,
I'm
just
gonna
like
say,
when,
I
oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say, okay, so I'm gonna say, everybody has their opinion. So, nobody, we don't want nobody, have a conversation and we don't want anyone to get offended because everybody has different opinions, different outlooks or whatever, and you saying that it has been shown, right? So do you
That it
believe that?
takes men longer to bounce back. And
Oh,
clearly, he just repeated the same thing. It takes men a little while longer to get themselves back together, whether it's financially, finding a place to live, being able to recoup and get their finances in a place where they can be able to date again. It does take them longer.
But the reason is because they start from a larger deficit than the woman. That's the point I'm making.
Well, I can kind of go into a couple clients that God has allowed me to be able to speak to. More, I have more male clients than female clients that I've had opportunity to actually in my life coach sessions, and I can honestly say, men. I think it goes back into their childhood. It goes back to what urban therapists were saying. Some men were not taught certain things, and they were just like propelled into relationships. They had babies early. Some men have different backgrounds, so it's different. Not meaning to generalize, but the ones that came to me, it's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's kind of ironic how part of my presence actually was speaking on something about mental health for men. A lot of men with this actually separated have came to me to talk to me about separation, and it is a isolation with a bigger isolation with men than women. It's less support for a man than a woman doing separation.
Lashae, now I want you to keep it real. Now, PMP said that men start behind the 8 ball. Will you agree that 98% of women can go out in the world today and find a nigga to take care of them? Men can't go in the world and easily find a woman to take care of them. It happens, but
Yeah,
not
I
like
agree.
men,
I
because
totally
men
agree.
are trained to take care of women.
Yeah, I totally agree. It is hard, and that's why I have more male life coach lesson, like for dealing with the life coach or dealing with advice giving. They do come to me like, hey, I want companionship, but I'm having issues with my cash flow. I'm building myself. I'm going through divorce. Some have multiple children. Some that's been single. Some it's just some that's been still living home with their mom, having a hard time finding their purpose in life. So yeah, it is a lot. It is a big space right there for a man. Like, hey, I want companionship, but I have to have all my stuff together. If I don't have all my ducks in a row, a woman will do not want me. But if me as a woman coming, hey, I don't have this. Oh, I accept you as you are. It is that going on. And I feel bad because just like Alexandra and I, we've spoken on men with mental health and how, and actually you were speaking on that. This is the month you've been showing me different things. You've been actually speaking on men's mental health, because I believe that's very important, because especially as Black men, you go, and I don't want this like this exclusive Black men, but it's because I've been mainly around Black men. That's what I've seen. So I can only speak on what I've seen. And Black men have came to me. So I see men go through a lot of more mental things than women do. Or I'll say they deal with it in a different way, and dealing with or having an opportunity to talk to men going through a separation or divorce, it's like they have more isolation than a woman. Because when I was separated, I had everybody coming to me. But
women have a stronger support system.
yeah, so it's just different for a man. And I know more than a few who are single fathers and saying, hey, I'm having a hard time with this, but I don't have anybody behind me. I only have my homeboys telling me, go out and smash this chick. Go out and do this. They telling me to man up, but they're not supporting me emotionally. So I think more men need to have an emotion. They need to have an emotional support system when they are going through things or transitions in their lives. Because women, we have it easy. Men don't.
Well, I agree with what he was saying. For it is, once you come out of a relationship, the woman do have a lot of support out here. There's plenty people, plenty organizations that will help a woman bounce back, or a woman bounce back on her own as well. Now we're gonna put it on the table. What do men has? to bounce back? Do they have a lot of organizations that's willing to help them get on their feet if they be homeless, or if they go hungry, or they looking for a job, or they need housing? Is that available for a lot of men? Besides, we're not talking about the shelters. We're talking about the support system. So if we're gonna talk about it, we got to talk about what do the men have to support them when they go through things like this. But when it comes to women, we have a lot of things and a lot of organizations and a lot of people that's even willing to reach out or to lend a hand to help us. But we don't have a lot of support when it comes to a man. So mentally, of course, that's gonna mess with them mentally, because they're gonna feel like they all out here by themselves and they didn't gave that woman or they didn't gave that individual they all at that particular time in their life, and now they don't have anything. So it's gonna be hard for them to get themselves together. But I know a lot of men that has bounced back from a lot of relationships that they have been in with women.
Faith, if I can add to what you're saying as well too, if we go back to what was earlier said about men having to be the providers, having to have money and the finances, when a man is divorced, most times he has to pay for children from a past relationship, child support, alimony. But then if he gets into a new relationship, he is also required to provide for the new wife or the new girlfriend. So most men, I won't say most, but there's a good majority of men who are paying for two households. That is a big feat for a man to accomplish. So again, the challenge is there for men. But men do rise to the occasion and they're able to do it. But it's definitely a larger or steeper hill to climb for us men.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with that too. And this me being a social worker, I know without a shadow of doubt there are not programs for men to cope with situations like that. Period. The only type of programs that men that have available, that's only dealing with any type of substance abuse. That's it. That's all we got. Other than that, we're on our own. We could try to confide into like religious organizations or any type of third party organizations, but that's very limited too, because it's understood, especially in this particular country, it's understood that a man's supposed to bounce back. A man's supposed to be a leader, even when the odds is against him. But they look and view the woman and the children as the weaker vessel, so they provide more resources for them.
I agree.
Oh, the answer to that question earlier, the answer today is trust. It's not the emotional part for men, but it's actually trust. That's the reason why men don't open up to women. Is due to trust. Period. Because let's imagine him dealing with a past relationship, and he opened himself all the way up to trusting that woman, and then next thing you know, they end up having an argument, and the woman will weaponize the certain things that he's confining into her. You know what I'm saying? He'll say certain things to her, and she'll use that as a weapon against him. And so eventually it's going to want to cause a man to shut down, because not because emotionally, because he just don't trust her.
And then we also have to realize that when it comes to, a lot of women use their kids as weapons as well.
Absolutely.
Regardless if they're not in the relationship with the man anymore, it's you're gonna do it my way. When I want you to see him or see her, and that mentally bothers that man as well. Even if he's taking care of that child, that still bother him mentally, because he has to walk a thin line because of what she want him to do, instead of them being co-parents and willing to, what I'm saying, love on the child, with both parents. And that's hard. A lot of people can't co-parent as well. A lot of the men and the women can't co-parent, and children has been used as weapons when it comes to the man.
Yep.
Yep, I agree to that too. So yeah, It's pretty much that the goalposts always get pushed back for the men. It's like we always in competition. If we're not in competition with life period, we're in competition with society. If we're not in competition with that, we're in competition with relationships, and the goalposts just keep getting pushed further back for us, and we have to fight harder and harder and harder just for us to maintain our place in society and culture. Period.
And we also have to remember that, as, younger adults grow up, into the manhood, you got to understand that everybody is not mental and stable or mature enough to hold that man's role, but we can't say that they're not man's. You understand what I'm saying? We can't say that, we can't put that on them. We can just say at that particular time when, you was dating, da 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 da, he didn't have that, that maturity level that you once was looking for, or that level disappeared in that relationship, and y'all found yourself, not just you, I'm talking about anybody, you find yourself not, giving him or not willing to go forth with him due to the fact of whatever change. And that can go for as women as well. We got to understand that all of us have a maturity level about ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? And the way you was raised, that don't mean that he's going to be raised the same, because you come from two backgrounds. And we got to understand, and a lot of people don't put that, where it needs to be. We got to understand that when you're dating someone, you come from two backgrounds, two totally different backgrounds. And the way your mama raised you, that don't mean that his mom raised him the same. And the way he think and the way he do things, because of the way he was taught and the way he was raised, that doesn't mean that it shouldn't, y'all relationship shouldn't work out because of the way your mom taught you and things like that. It's a balance. You got to, in a relationship, you got to understand that there's a balance there. And a lot of people don't understand, when you're going into a relationship, what are you looking for? You understand what I'm saying? And that goes for a man and a woman. Go ahead.
I guess when we speak of men, is there a certain, I guess, level of thinking, a certain amount of whatever resources or income or whatever? How do you define a man? Like, what is it? A certain maturity level? At what point do we classify a male as a man?
Well, that's a good question, because
Yeah.
I can say that women have a totally different perspective of a role of a man versus how the way a man have a perspective of a role of a man. But I can give you my personal perspective about the role of a man. A role of a man is simple. A man is physically fit. He's financially stable to the best of his ability. He's mental stable, and most of all, he's spiritually sound as well. That's basically the whole purpose of a role in a man. Period. And I'm just talking about just him. I'm not talking about just what a woman want a man to be, and we have to define where we have to separate that too, because sometimes it be what a woman want a man to be, and a woman try to project that into the man, and then determine that he's not a man because he's not that type of man that she wants him to be, but he's actually in his divine role.
Correct.
I agree.
Can I ask the women, because we always hear that comment about when is a man a man? When is a woman a woman? Or when is a female a woman? Anyone want to answer?
Do I need to answer that? I thought I can't answer it. We got to that's what it goes back to what I was saying when I first hit the panel. We got to understand that the same thing that we're looking for in men look for that same thing. They look for security. They look for honesty. They look for loyalty. They look for, you being the woman that you telling him that you are. A lot of times when we go in relationships, women, and I'm not saying all, But we have a lot of women that don't be honest with that man about a lot of things.
That's true.
See, we got to understand that, like I said, it goes back to when we was growing up. We look for things that we was taught from our mom or our dad or our grandmother, our grandparents. That's what we look for when it comes to a man. Do
That's
you understand what I'm
Cinderella
saying?
effect.
And yes, and we ain't gonna have that white picket
Right.
fence and all this other type of stuff that
Right.
we thought that this is what we supposed to have as we growed up to be the woman that we are now. So that's my question.
Faith,
What are
so
we
Faith,
willing to bring to the table?
Right. It
at
sounds
this
like all
point,
this sound like a criteria of just being a plain adult.
Yeah.
Like you just supposed to be this all sound like just being grown.
It's
Like
not
you
even
supposed
human.
to, like you supposed to be financially stable, mentally stable, all that. Just being a basic adult. That's why they always say bring 50-50 to the table. No, you're supposed to bring two wholes to come together.
I don't think that 50-50 should even be there. If you're in a
Right.
relationship, you're
Stupid. I
supposed to
hate
bring
it.
100. A hundred
Right.
should be brought to the table, not 50%, because you're giving that man only 50% of you when
Right.
he should have the whole 100.
Right.
Right.
So
But
I'm not. I don't.
it seemed like there's something that's humans. Like I think it's like what we want in a potential partner, brother, whatever business partner, whatever, however that person will serve you, may like as the opposite sex. I think it's just a human thing. Like I
Right.
think we
I
as
don't think we answered his question.
what was
Thank you. I was about to say that. I don't think you guys answered the
At
question.
what
What?
point do we consider ourselves women?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
it's when you in my own opinion, I knew I was a woman when I could be accountable for myself. When I can actually identify, hey, I'm toxic. AF. I'm toxic. I'm sitting up here in the same patterns. Sitting up here attracting the same type of men. I'm up here sitting up here. I'm not serving my highest self. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I found myself not being in a place where I just wasn't happy with myself. And then the people around me, the relationships around me reflected that. And it
So
took
at what point did you consider yourself a woman? Not saying before the hurt, before
right.
all of that. When did you feel like you became a woman? Like
I
what?
became a woman when I had children. And I don't want to say that as a maternal thing. When I had children, it's like they made me more accountable. And it's like children are, like a mother. When you break down a mother, it's maternal matter. Like so, when you have children, it's like your children are like your twin. Like part of your genetics are in them, and part of your ancestors' genetics is in them as well. So it's like you're part of your ancestors, and then it goes on. So my children, like seeing how they react, seeing their characteristics, I saw them like a mirror to me. I'm like, I need to change that behavior. And I knew once I went to therapy, once I started dealing with my anger, once I started being more accountable, once I started watching how I say things, once I set boundaries, once my no meant no, and honestly, once I started seeing the type of people that I hung around and what I tolerated, I'm like, you know what? I don't tolerate that as much. It's like once I realized I was walking in unconditional love, I was walking in my true self. I was like, all that began when I was a mother, not when I was a wife. When I was a wife, I think being a mother amplified that for me. If that makes any sense.
I'm glad you added to that because for the longest time, I've always heard, and maybe you guys have heard this as well too, is that a female becomes a woman when they have their period. That used to be the common thing that society would say. But
Long time ago, yeah.
Exactly, right. But that's more of a biological thing. That's not really. I mean, if you were to look at the equivalent from a man, so when does a male become a man? If it's based on it's his natural body or physiology. So it's good to hear those statements and comments from you as far as what you've taken from it from your own standpoint and from your own level of maturity.
Hey, PMP, that's to add on to that. They used to say that a man becomes a man when he first has sex with a woman.
That's true. Yes. Yes.
Yes, they used to say that. They used to say. But to be honest with you, when it comes to a woman, we have to grow as well. Even if we had kids early, that didn't mean that we was a woman at that time. Okay, we had a baby. We was doing the best that we could at that particular time, trying to be the best mom that we could. We have to understand that we play a role in lives. That means our kids' life, our family life. You understand? But when it comes to me, it took me to be, I think, like 24, 25 to really realize life.
Yes.
And life is what you make it. You understand what I'm saying? Life is what you make it. And at that particular time, I was growing up. I already had kids. And I was willing to do for my kids what I could at that time. Okay. And by me growing up, that means I'm growing up being responsible, being independent, doing the things that I need to do for my kids. But I always place myself around older women. And as I place myself around older women, I found out a lot of things about myself and about things that I needed to change within myself. You understand what I'm saying? Some corrections. You understand what I'm saying? Some things that I didn't think that I would took someone through as well. And I don't really think that, we hold ourselves accountable when it comes to relationships, with different people that we've been involved with. And we need to understand that there are some things that we may have done to hurt other people as well when it comes to men. And I had to really sit back in my life to really realize life. And I only get one. And I was going to try to make the best that I could do with my life, with what I had, with my finance, with, the things that I had. But I always stayed grounded in the spiritual realm. And I think the spiritual realm has really kept me. You understand what I'm saying? But I always find myself still going around older people. And as I went around older people, they taught me a lot of things when it comes to men and when it comes to what a woman think. And a lot of times we have to understand that in certain situations, we've been wrong. Even our thought process, even the way we handle it, even the way that we did some things, we were wrong. And we can say, yeah, I was wrong as I look back, but we was wrong. And we never went to that person and say, you know what? Because mentally or physical, emotional, that could have scarred that man. Young. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to kick it, party, whatever the case may be. But we don't take in consideration of what we have done in life when it comes to different men that we have been involved in. Even if the relationship went sour, did we do anything to really harm or damage the man? Because let's be honest, sometimes when men come out of a relationship, they be damaged. They be broken. And they don't want to trust. They be hurt. And sometimes that hurt and pain turn into being low down to the next woman because the woman that they just came out of a relationship with was low down or felt some type of way that made him turn this way. And guess what? Same way when it comes to a woman. So in relationships, you got to be careful, very careful of how you treat somebody. Because it'll come back and you may not feel like it may come back to you, but it can come back to your kids.
Right.
Karma. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to be careful when you enter into a relationship, period.
Right.
Period. Whether it's a friendship, whether it's a business partner, whether it's relationship wise, no matter what it is, be careful when you enter into that relationship. And when you build that relationship, first of all, on trust and loyalty. And then we got to understand that conversation, they say rule the nation, but conversation conversations and communications. I'm going there, therapist. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming.
I'm about to fire it.
I know. Conversations. So as you have conversations with a person, you got to understand the communication as well. Because as I'm conversating with you, then that means I'm communicating with you. And communication is the number one key to all relationships.
Right. I say.
Hey, I have a question for y'all too. So far tonight we've been talking about the problems that we having for us with relationship with men and women, right? But we kind of touch a little bit on the solutions. So one solution that women will recommend to men is that we should go out and mentor and counsel the younger men so they can be brought up to be productive men when they grow up. So my question to the ladies is this: what are y'all doing to help mentor and counsel the women so they could the girls so they can actually grow up to be women as well? So this whole disconnect that we have in a relationship could eventually stop.
Well, may I say something?
It's your show.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay. I'm learning how to sit back and listen, so I'm still in work in progress. But I believe that it starts with self, and I have for the last 4 years I've been working on how I communicate, how I, just working on being a better Shay. And as I've done that, I'm actually doing it starting with my daughters, and I'm noticing how they interact, even with teachers and even with family members, male and female. They are very responsible young ladies. I think as women, we have to be the examples for other young women, and we have to present ourselves a certain way. And that also means that we have to be careful on how we present ourselves on social media. And what I mean by that, what I mean by that is that children or other younger ladies are watching what you present. Like, for example, my daughters will go through my phone like, okay, they know like I could be on social media posting something. They see what I'm posting. And so they're going to mimic that. I think for the younger generation now, as women, we have to mimic, or we have to be a mirror to those younger ladies. That's the reason why we have to make sure we're balanced in whether we call ourselves alpha, beta, or just women, or whatever, independent, whatever we call ourselves, we have to be balanced. And I believe that balance will help us do that. And also how we treat our men. And I have to say this, and I hope that this don't come off the wrong way. Someone had to tell me something that I did not want to hear when I was going through my separation. Now being happily divorced. They said, you still have to respect your ex-husband. Right. I mean, you still have it's like, because your daughters, no matter who you end up with or who he ends up with, you're going to have to still show him that mutual respect that you did in the marriage. Mm-hmm. And that took a lot of therapy. It took a lot of just humbling myself. Like, you know what? I had children by this man. I loved him once upon a time. And so instead of arguing or saying negative things about my ex-husband, it's like I got to a place where if I had something to say, I write it down. I have a private conversation outside of my car or my girlfriend, my female friend on the phone, because you can't say girlfriend now, but my female friend on the phone. But it was just like I like learning how to forgive my ex-husband for everything and moving forward. And even now we can have a full conversation on the phone now without email, without text message. So it's just been a development, and it really starts with how I respond to my ex-husband. That's a model to them how to react to other men. It does not matter who I end up with, who I'm going to marry. It does not matter how he treat the woman in his life or women in his life, whatever. It only matters between him and I, and how they see, okay, mama is listening to daddy. Mm-hmm. Daddy is listening to mama. Okay, they're listening. They're being quiet. Okay, they are respecting. So children look at those things. So that's how that's how I'm doing it. And so I'm hoping with doing that, it will set off some kind of effect. Like, okay, this is what a healthy relationship look like.
Right.
Yep.
Instead of showing that love to like, oh, this is my boyfriend, this is my husband, so I'm treating my ex-husband as my baby daddy or something like that. You know.
Right, showing that respect, and I'm teaching my daughters to respect themselves and respect other people around them,
right. And
also just believing in themselves and being okay. Because my daughter, she's a really big perfectionist. Like, it's okay to make mistakes. You just don't make the same mistake, and then you just do better next time. That's what I'm teaching my daughters: just loving themselves, being respectful, being kind, being courteous, and always just believing in themselves.
Hold on, somebody said something. It was Lisa.
What? I was 13, dating older man, pregnant at 16, 3 kids at the age of 19. I was very young.
I dated an older man too, but
Me too.
It wasn't the same situation though. I dated a guy who was 30. I think he was 15 years older than me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, when I was 16. So I mean, it was weird, but I guess I just wanted a dad at that point in time, man.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's this guy doing?
I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say something to him.
What is y'all doing on camera?
Having the time of their lives.
Need to get like y'all.
We just starting in pie, and I see my guy was making fun of me, so I just had
Relationship goals.
Yep.
Right.
Right.
I was gonna say, just based on what you were saying, I think a lot of parents don't realize, or maybe mothers don't realize, that the children get the cues from the mother, because naturally the children, especially young children, are going to gravitate towards their mother. So they're going to learn through their mother how to love the father, right? So and how you respond to the father, the interactions, then your children are going to follow suit, right? So many times, there'll be fights and arguments, but you have to realize that your children are watching. And this is for the fathers as well, too. You have to realize that the children are watching you. They're not going to listen to what you say. They're going to listen to your actions and what you do.
Right.
And you have to remember that everything that they see, they're going to internalize it, and they're going to think that this is the norm and the expected way to behave when they go out and get relationships for themselves later on. So you have to be very conscious of the fact that they're going to learn how to cope, how to interact, how to argue, how to resolve conflict based on what they're seeing with you and your partner.
Absolutely. The children always mimic the behavior of their parents. This is why me and my wife were real adamant about the things that we do around our children. Like, for example, we always show them that we love each other 100 to 2,000%. So we show affection towards each other all the time. As much time as possible, we try to show affection in front of the children, because that's what they're going to remember. They're going to see that behavior. They're like, well, this is what it means to love a man or love a woman and stuff. So I'm going to show the same type of affection because I learned it from our parents. So I do that all the time. I go and I slap my wife on the booty in front of them. She be cooking. I do it for real. I ain't lying. I flirt with her and everything, tell her that she's beautiful, everything, and stuff in front of her. Yeah, everything. Then they be like, ew. Yeah, we'll go around and she'll do the same thing to me. She'll just come around and just flirt with me. She'll hit me. She'll punch on me, hit me on my booty, be trying to grab on me and everything. You know what I'm saying? But they'll be like, ew. Then they made fun of us one time, talking about y'all gonna be that old couple that gonna be in the closet all the time on family reunions. I'm like, heck yeah, we are.
Ain't no wrong with that.
But that's the behavior that we show to our children all the time. Yeah, they're like, that's the behavior we show to our children all the time. But also, like, if we have a disagreement, we never argue in front of our children. Right. Whenever we have any type of disagreement, we'll go into our personal closed doors and we'll talk about it. And we also learn to effectively communicate, where we're not elevating our voice, where we're not arguing and fussing and fighting, but we know how to effectively communicate it towards each other, where I listen to her, she listened to me. Then we come up with a conclusion about the matter. You know what I'm saying? Then we just go from there. There's some things, and there's some things even in a disagreement, it just go unresolved. But that's natural. It's nothing wrong with that at all. You know what I'm saying? Long as it don't fester itself into something more, but that still goes along with the effective communication process.
That's what I'm talking about. Relationship goals.
Right.
Yep.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's relationship goals. Yeah.
Yep. You should have fun with somebody that you want.
Right. You're supposed to have fun. You don't want nobody.
Yeah, you supposed to. Your relationship don't supposed to be all serious and stuff, you know. I mean, that's the whole point way all together, right?
You got something to say?
Did you have something to say, Tina?
Hold on.
Oh, okay. But yeah, honestly, I totally agree. I actually miss the aspect of my life. I miss being smacked on the butt and being talked to and flirting, and I miss all that. I think that's the reason why I still speak on relationships, because people, I like when you have that and then you don't have it. It's like you like. Right. I want somebody coming
right
and just be around me and us giggle about I have a little secret passwords and hey, you want some spaghetti? Yeah, some spaghetti tonight, right? Yeah. Right. So that's fun. That's what it should be. That's
right. It's just basically just having a live-in best friend. That's just basically what it is. That's the goal, to have a live-in best friend.
That's the whole point of this. Like all of this, like we here to talk about just having healthy communication with a potential spouse or business partner, anybody.
Right.
And I believe that's like, and just like you mentioned about solutions, about mentorships. Like now you asked about the women, somebody asked about the women. What about the men? What are the men doing to, be a solution for the men? Right. What men are mentoring other men right now?
Should we that's the thing I was talking about her like last week. Should y'all be updating the bro code? I mean, cause like it feel like it's really updated. It should be a 2021 bro code. We need to update it.
And what were you talking about? The bro code?
I don't know.
In effect.
It's still in effect.
Yeah, it's still in effect. Nothing ever changed about it. It probably evolved. But
you're asking how to groom boys into men? Is that what you're asking?
Like right. like what men, as a man, for the men on the panel, like what would you do to mentor another young man to be a better man? I mean, to be a man.
I would tell him what I tell my sons. Fuck these women, but don't get them pregnant. Have all the fun you want to. Don't get them pregnant.
Hold up.
He hit him with that Kevin Samuel.
Well, walking away.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Really?
Yes, I have an 18-year-old son, and a year from now, he'll be the age I was when I had my first child. So, yes, different.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, for real deal, like, we here for solutions, because people have these conversations and leave like, oh, it's a great conversation. But I'm like, really, what can the men on this panel, or the men listening, like, really do?
So you just gonna dismiss what I said I will do? That is teaching.
I guess that's not the answer. That's not the answer she was looking for.
Blew right past that.
No. I wasn't dismissing that. I'm just like, if anybody have one,
that's the solution. I'm telling men to be responsible where they lay their seed, and if they're responsible where they lay their seed, you know what? We will stop having broken single parent homes in the Black community.
Right.
I got to start with my kid first. I have to start with my family first, because my family will listen to me more than any stranger out here in the world would.
True.
That's some real stuff, because being a single parent sucks at times. But yeah, you're right. Just being an example. It's too many single moms and dads now. It's depressing. It really is. I mean, any other guys like, you have anything else to say? Trey already had his.
I would teach my kids to be productive members of society, meaning that there's no group, there's no organization, there's no part of the city or community that you can't get into. I find that black boys or black teens, they they have a mindset that nothing is for them, and as a result, or nothing is designed for them, or they can't be a part of something, and as a result of that feeling, they retreat or they withdraw. And when you withdraw from the larger society, you're gonna get in trouble. That's when you end up doing things that you shouldn't be doing, and that's when you end up being non-productive. So my goal with my kids is to make sure that they understand that they are part of society. They can contribute positively, and they can make a difference. And if they have that mindset, I think they'll be more open-minded to do whatever they want to do without anyone having to hold them back, or them feeling that someone could hold them back. And in that way, they're able to achieve their goals without having a chip on their shoulder. So that's just my opinion.
I approve with both of what these brothers said, and the final part that I'm gonna add on to it is that I would teach our young men to be spiritually sound and to be spiritually strong as well, because with all that, if they're not perfectly balanced, they could fall for anything, or they could become weak in any situation possible. So they need to have spirituality as a foundation as well too, so they could not be picking these type of women where they could be able to vet the women that they need to vet into their life, and they could be productive members of society too. But even with being productive members of society, you have to have a sort of discernment too, because some parts of society you don't need to be a part of,
Right.
Yeah.
So so you have to have that type of spiritual discernment as well to know the difference between that and to navigate that,
Hey, something just came to my mind, and it was a conversation that maybe I had on here with other men. It was about homosexuality in a black man. And as a woman, I was like, I have no issue with homosexuality. But I'm just remembering a conversation. They said it was some black men, or there was some men. They said that they had an issue with their son being homosexual because there would be no one to bear the seed. Like if he died before his son. So what do y'all feel about that? Like about homosexuality in a male, especially in the black community?
Don't gay men have kids?
I mean, I'm talking about like from their loins. Because like if someone is
there's a whole bunch of gay men who have.
And I'm talking about I'm speaking. Well, you gotta understand the type of men or that conversation.
I know you're saying.
They were speaking of like
she's talking about. She's speaking from the perspective of lineage.
Yeah, lineage, yes.
So in that particular perspective, I can understand where they're coming from, because any man will want his seed to carry on the legacy of the generation, And to be honest with you, any woman will also want that to happen too, as well. But however, where we are living in a modern day society where society is forever evolving, so just because a man is homosexual, that doesn't mean that his seed is not going to be carried, because there are different other ways that can happen, where his seed still can be carried on, even if he is, homosexual.
Yeah, I was just watching a video from this guy named Danny Boy that used to be on Death Row, the record company, and he has kids, and he's gay. He's talking about how he slept with Mary J. Blige and all of these R&B artists. So I don't know what's going on, but you can still have kids and be gay apparently. So I don't know.
Yeah, in most cases they be doing like Hotep brothers that be talking about super pro black brothers that be talking about that, but they don't understand about evolution. That your lineage is always going to be carried on and stuff, no matter what way it's going to happen. Yeah. It's still going to happen because that does all part of the evolution process.
I guess the answer to that question is that you try to have more than one child.
And I wasn't saying it to like say I had anything issue with them. I was speaking on just the conversation. I was just remembering the conversation.
And it's more than one way to leave a legacy. You don't necessarily have to have a child to leave a legacy. Yeah. And it's not up to your children to to spread your legacy. You're supposed to be making a legacy just
Because I don't have any
yourself.
sons yet.
You're right.
I just have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
I don't have anybody that can, you know what I mean? I'm just not in a
Right.
place of that. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just,
then another perspective too is that a legacy of lineage doesn't necessarily have to mean a bloodline neither. You know, you could adopt, and that's still part of your lineage. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And it's I know many of y'all are, you know, either Christian or you believe in spirituality or you believe in the Bible, but that's the whole point about y'all remember about Jacob. That's the whole point of him is about his birthright and stuff and his brother. So when he gave away his birthright, his brother ended up becoming the lineage and stuff, even though he was part of that actual bloodline.
Oh, right. And I'm just bringing up that point because I think that it's a lot of it now, and I have nothing against it. I personally, I grew up Christian and everything. I am more spiritual now. It's just that I hear people have a conversation about, especially men, and it's like this. It's a homophobic mentality now that I see a lot of times, especially. And I hate to target, but I see it amongst black men. You know, they will talk down on a man doing certain things that is that they, you know, it's just I see it a lot, especially where I stay, and it kind of grosses me out because my thing is everyone is an individual, and they speak on lineage, someone carrying their name, etc., etc. It's just this. I have different kind of conversations with these guys, and you know I have guy friends, so we have these conversations all the time about lineage. What do you want to leave behind? And even speaking about adoption. As a man, would you be interested in adoption even though you have your own children or maybe you don't have your children just to leave a lineage?
Only my nephews and nieces, if I need to adopt them, but not someone outside of my bloodline.
I mean, because think about it. If you were to, I'm not saying you have to, if you were to adopt a little boy, right? There can be a way that you can actually bring up, teach him how to be a man. Because if he's in the system, what is he really learning?
Yeah, if I didn't have any kids or I couldn't have kids, then yeah, I definitely would consider that. Because at the end of the day, like you said, you what you instill in a child, and you raise a child to be somebody that you want them to be, and then you could pass on your lineage or your inheritance to them. That's something that will benefit the rest of society as well too. So yeah, I think more people should adopt children. It's kind of taboo, but there's a lot of orphans. There's a lot of children in foster care that no one really talks about, and it's a sad situation. And they're black. They're not like they're majority black.
I was a foster child myself. I was adopted by my stepmom and my dad.
That foster care system is horrible in this
crazy.
country. It is horrible. I believe that should be implemented more where adoption should be possible.
Right.
And a lot of kids being missing too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And especially because my sister and I probably will be just crying on here because they were raised up in the adoption system, and I can't remember what age they were when they were adopted, but I was adopted, I believe, early as 3 years old. That's just from memory. But yeah, I was raised by my stepmom and dad. And if I was not adopted, I would be in the system. And being in the system is not a kind place because you are with these different people that's with you for the money, the monthly money that they pay you. But then they really don't care. Some really don't. And so these young men, it's like, where are the men out here and where are the women out here that's saying, hey, I'm going to take you on as a spiritual daughter or a spiritual, I'm going to be that mentor to you. I'm going to be that parent for you if I see something going wrong. Like, for example, when my daughters were in when they were going to school publicly, I remember all the children that used to hang out at the bus stop. I used to hear these conversations. I came around like, no, we can't have this conversation. I used to sit down and talk to them. I'm like, no, y'all not about to do this. I don't care who you live with. You're not about to have these conversations. Hey, da 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 da. And we used to have like deep conversations at the bus stop before the bus came in, once the bus came and dropped them off. They was like, they used to have a conversation about marijuana. I'm like, how y'all know how to pick out weed? You know what I mean? They're like, these children used to talk about porn, what they saw, their parents.
My neighbor, he's 6-year-old, know how to roll a blunt.
Yeah, because these children, I live in Castalia, okay? So I'm just telling you, I've heard some conversations from little children. I'm looking like, whoa, I didn't know any of this information until I was in my 20s. Right. So children now, I think they really do need a mentor, even if you're not their parent. If you see a child doing something, it's like you can't say anything because they don't believe, like a village raised a child. They don't believe in that anymore. No. But it's like you have to say it in a way, or like, hey, I don't think you should be hanging out with that little boy. Like one of my neighbors, her mother was a certain way and she was a certain way, and everybody knew it. And so I remember one time I went outside. She was outside with a boy. I said, hey, y'all need to go home. You need to go home. She said, I'm like, no, I'm not your mama, but I'm your neighbor. Little boy, go home, and you better go in this house. And she went in the house, and I believe she respected me for that. I'm like, you're not finna, no. Mm-mm. I'm like, I'm gonna stand outside and watch y'all. So right. It was just one of those things where sometimes, you have to be discerning because you don't know what type of people are, but it's just being that example, even though that's not your child. I believe that would actually help us solve a lot of problems between men and women.
Right.
Yep. The sense of community.
Right.
Which we lost. It's crazy. Like people don't even know their neighbors anymore, or do they even care to?
Right, because that used to be a really big thing. Like either your neighbor saw you, you'll get in trouble by your neighbor, then your neighbor tell your mom, then your mom tell your dad, then you just got whooping 3 times.
One time I stole a candy bar.
Right.
Literally, I stole a Snickers or something, and I had the money. Like this was so embarrassing. My dad whooped me. My neighbor whooped me that saw it. My stepmom whooped me, and a store owner. Then I had to clean up around the outside of the store for a week. I had to be a preteen, and I never stole anything else in my day of my life. I was like, okay, I'm never stealing a candy bar ever again. Even if I owe a penny, I'm like, oh, here's that penny. Because I remember I'm gonna get my butt whooped if I cuss anything. Right. If I did anything out of place, my mom, my stepmom and dad always knew I was doing, who I was around, even if they weren't around me. It was like, no, I'm like that in my church. I'm like, y'all see something, let me know. You can spank their hands, but I'm gonna whoop their behind. So I don't believe in my children that's going to do what they want to do.
Right.
No, I don't see everything.
Hello?
Yeah, I got quiet there.
I know, right?
That the show ended.
So how do y'all feel about spanking? Because I know a lot of people say spank or don't spank. Because I just had this debate about my dad about spare the rod, whatever, spoil the child, whatever type thing.
I'm gonna hold my thoughts on that one because I promise I go real North Memphis real quick on that one.
Right.
Shoot.
Who that from the north? Who that from the north?
Me, I'm from the north.
Up over here.
Okay.
Look, I'm telling you. Look, I believe in doing whatever you got to do and talking to your children at the same time because every child is not the same. Look, right. I'm a deal. Yep. I got slapped. I got whipped with poles and bats. Got dragged outside. No, I literally got dragged out of my class because I cussed the teacher out. And I had to go back the next day and I got dragged out the class. Like, see, now the new laws don't allow you to do that. I got dragged out of class. I had to apologize to the whole school, the teacher. I'm like, I call her B. I had to be in elementary. I'm like, you B? I was a bad little girl. But anyways, I've learned. But my daughters, they're the sweetest children, but I don't have to do much. But sometimes you got to jack your children up. If you got to do that every now and then to keep them in place, and then always have a conversation beforehand. But I really, really don't believe in just this. I personally don't believe in doing all that with my children because, hey, I understand they're different children, but I just do whatever works for either one of them. I don't have issues with mine.
Well, you said it that every child is different, so you
I
have
would
to
back them up if I had to.
yes,
Like,
you have to behave
when we get
accordingly.
home. Like, when we get home. When we get home. Wait.
Right. Like, you can't just be whooping your child like all the time, every time. Like, nah.
Yeah,
not
the biggest
situation calls for that. Some situation you can just talk to them. You can take away things or different type of forms of punishment.
Yeah, the biggest thing about it is that where's the teachable moment, right?
Like, she said there was abuse. Well, I can't say now. Technically, I will say there will be abuse, but hell, if abuse made me who I am today, I'm grateful for it. Thank you, Jesus. Thank your ancestors. Thank you, higher self. Thank you, God. All right. I mean,
but keep in mind though, the spanking in itself is not what you learn from. What you learn from is what's being taught to you afterwards, right? Because there are many parents who will spank, but don't teach the child. They haven't taught the child not to do it again or what to do. And what happens is that they'll get the beats.
It's the communication.
Exactly, because what will happen? They'll get the beats, but then a week later, they'll get in the same situation again and get beat again without any type of constructive criticism. So I think the key thing is that where's the teachable moment in it? Do you sit down your child and do you talk to them about right and wrong and use proper discernment? If you combine those, right, then it's, I guess you can consider it okay. But the other thing as well too is that you never want to do it in anger. You never want to do it out of with rage. It always has to come from a controlled environment, not just you pick up anything and you hit them. My dad used to use one belt, a specific belt. It wasn't used to hold up pants. It was a belt that he kept in the cabinet, and that was the only thing he used. So we knew when he went to that cabinet to get the belt, we knew what was going down, right? But he never used his hand. He never used a switch or any of those things. It was always that methodical. So there was a rhyme and reason to it, right? So that's the most important thing, is there a teachable moment? And if you have that as a part of it, then the child will get something from it. Right.
And the thing is, it's this book right here. Let me see if I can find it. Yep. It's this book right here called
PMP.
Permission to Feel. And in here it speaks on what if emotional intelligence were taught to children up to college age, from birth to college age. And one thing I take from this is that I teach my children emotional intelligence. And I just have a conversation with my daughter this morning. We had a real heart-to-heart. We cried, we talked. It had to be 1-something this morning, literally. And she went back to bed, and it was just some personal things she was going through. And we've held hands. My daughters can come in my room and just go to sleep next to me if they need to. And we have a very close connection. So you do need to have that, but set healthy boundaries. Give them a choice, like, hey, either you're gonna do this or that. Like, even my daughter's birthday is supposed to be today. Today is Saturday, right?
Yeah, today Friday.
Tomorrow. My bad. So tomorrow and Saturday, I'm like, if you do all your schoolwork, if you do all this, then and only then can you have this birthday party. If you miss any classes, if you don't do this, you're not going to have a birthday party. She did one thing, and I told her she wouldn't have it. She cried. You would think I would have whooped her. No, I said no party, and she said, "Okay, give me one more chance. Tell me why she got it right." She's been on it. She said, "I want a birthday party." So I think once you just sit down and you talk to them, and when they're used to you sitting and communicating with them, you won't have to whoop them as much,
right?
Unless it's like they just at least really been difficult,
right?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm trying to figure out.
No. I really can't really respond to it because on PMP he literally stole my whole exact script because we actually had this conversation. Yeah, we had this conversation on my show. So.
You know what? Where's Natasha? Natasha. She actually, I don't know. Did she leave?
Yeah.
Oh, Natasha. She has her new book came out, My Love Journal too. So I don't think she showed it to everybody, but
No, she never got on camera. She left.
She told me what was going on with her grandma,
her
grandparents.
But emotional intelligence is definitely important. Is one of those things that people don't really take into consideration, but it's probably the best type of intelligence a person could have, because it will literally keep you out of trouble, and it helps you to forward think. And if you're able to do that, you already have one leg up in the game, and that's important, especially for Black teens. It's definitely something that should be taught.
That's why we must learn it first.
Yeah, yeah.
It starts with us, and that's why we have to heal. We have to be aware. We have to not necessarily be like in tune, like what it's like spiritually in tune. It's not necessarily that. It's just being aware.
Right.
It's just being aware of your emotions. I know me. Look, I was raised with a deal mentality with my parents. Well, especially my stepmom, my dad. He would sit me on his lap, talk to me like a best friend. And I believe that part of me comes out. But when I have to, I promise you, I was like, no. And I let them on, like, I'm like, which one you want? I'm like, then they straighten up real quick. I'm like, okay, so that's what we're gonna do, right? So it's just one of those things where I don't have to really do too much. And I have my dad. I have male counterparts in my life that's healthy. That if my daughter's not listening to me, I'm like, I'm gonna call your granddaddy. Like, no, I'm okay. I'm gonna act right. Okay, So I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for women, especially single parents, to have healthy male counterparts in their daughters' lives, especially if you have daughters. And then same thing with the males. It's very healthy to have healthy female counterparts so that they can see the example of the interaction between you and other males as well, outside of just like you and daddy or you and a parent, whatnot.
I agree.
Right. So it's still a process though.
Yes, definitely.
Because my youngest, I remember she went through a phase when she wanted a boyfriend. And Rita, And my dad, I said, Daddy, Rita said she wanted a boyfriend. So I went on my dad's house. My dad said, oh, Shay told me you say you want a boyfriend. Want me to show you what boyfriends do? And she was like, and so literally I let my dad I dropped them off for like 3 or 4 times that week, because I that's why I had a certain job. And so I'm like, okay, my CNA job. I'm like, okay. And when I got him back, she was completely different. I'm like, hey, what'd you do? I just talked to her. And every time he gets on the phone, I'm like, oh, you want a boyfriend still? She just turned around and was like, nope, I don't want a boyfriend. I don't know what he said, but she don't want a boyfriend. I have to teach her as she gets older, though, what one is. But I mean, whatever her preference may be, I'm not against it. I'm just saying she's scared to be in that type of relationship.
Do you know what I think is a good option too? Probably more so for boys than for girls, but teach your kids how to play chess, because chess is a game where it's just like real life, as far as you have to make sure you think 5 steps ahead of your opponent. Right. Each piece has its own strengths and weaknesses. You can even say personalities if you want to get that deep into it. And you have to find a way to maneuver and also understand that you could actually win with any piece on the board. So even the pawn. So no one is greater than the other. So these things, if you kind of instill that into your child and get them to play the game, then you could equate that to the game of life and how to make moves, how to strategize, how to be competitive, and to overcome different obstacles as well too. So I've taught my because I have 2 boys, so I've taught them how to play chess as well too. And it's a game, so they like to compete, but it's also something that they're learning how to approach certain situations. So I think that's a good option as well.
Right.
Y'all agree with that?
Yeah. Are you calling them?
And you could play with adults, right? So the kids love playing with adults as well too in those things. So it's always something that you could do with your child or an uncle or an aunt, whoever.
Wait a minute. Oh, I mistakenly hung up my friend Shantina's face. I was just trying to put her back on speaker, y'all. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, I was just putting you back on. I mistakenly hung up. Did you have anything to say, Shantina? Well, just speaking about resolutions, what other resolutions can you see urban therapists or Pardon My Presence or any males on here that like what questions do you have for us women? Like far as what since we on here? Like what would you ask us?
I have a question because the young lady beside you, she said treating their man like a best friend or like a best friend that you have all the time. My question to women, and I've asked it numerous times, and I don't really get a good answer, but why is it that women never date their male friend who they get along with, who they know from the back of their hand and they click? Why is it that women never date their male friend who they get along with and they actually build a relationship with? Why does that never happen?
Well, can I go first? I'm gonna go first. Can I? Which version would you like?
The truth.
The truth.
Okay. So on one side of it, I can say that I can count on one hand. Well, I used to say 5, but I can say 3 now. All of my male best friends that I'm actually cool with, I actually end up trying to be in a relationship with one. It didn't work out. But the other ones, I can say it was due to the fact that the ones that I'm cool with are men whores, okay? And so, anyways, if you're telling me all these different things you do on other women, and then you call yourself liking me, I'm not going to want to be with you. But on one end, I do have one best friend, which is my best friend in the whole wide world. I think I actually remember why I got down here. I'm telling all my tea. And so I knew that he liked me since high school, right? And he was in a relationship then. And so what I did, I said, hey, C, you know, you want to go out? You just want to go out and this on a date. And I think he's like, huh? I was like, yeah. He's like, I know you've been liking me since high school and everything. And I know it's a little crush there. Like, do you want to just take me out on one date? And it's like, he was like, he didn't say anything and he backed up completely from it. And I can say it's been 4 years now. He's happily in a relationship now. And I think, one of the things he actually mentioned, he's a fellow podcaster as well. And he's one of my biggest motivations, period. And he reminds me who I am. And one of the reasons why we didn't work out because he was like, one of the things we actually have mentioned in the past, like maybe I don't think it was meant for us to be together. I think he's like the moon, I'm like the sun. And the way we think is so similar, but I think some people are just really meant to be friends. But some people I can say are meant to be more. I can say if I actually was friends with a guy and he was decent, he was single and his mindset was right, I wouldn't mind, saying, hey, let's go ahead and be together. But the South suckers that I've been my best friends with, I don't want no dealings with them other than one that I want on one, but it just didn't work out.
So let me ask you a question, because remember, people shouldn't use the term.
You are my favorite podcast, the MoneyBoy.
Listen, people shouldn't use the term friends loosely, right? So if we call someone our friend, then that means there's someone that we hold in high regard or high esteem, right? So I wouldn't consider a friend someone that you think less of. So wouldn't they be someone that you actually admire?
Right. I got what you're saying. Yeah. And
Shay, your problem is, Shay, you know I'm going to say it. I hadn't said it.
Go ahead.
Your problem is you don't show your ass enough, ma'am. You were blessed with an ass and you don't show it.
What does that have to do Right.
Are we still on
You have
that?
yet to see it too, you know.
What? What does that have to do with anything?
Oh no! Look, my dad. Are we really having this conversation?
Like we were talking about best friend. How did it get to this?
I bet if she was backing that
There's
thing
a
up on
person on the
that friend would be out the friend zone.
Shay, I need you to answer that comment that's on the screen that someone put up there.
Oh, guys.
But look, I'm not saying like I think it's just that like sometimes you know somebody you too close to them. I think you just get too comfortable with them. And
But isn't that what you want? You want a partner that you're close with?
Right. I think it's just have to happen naturally. Like I said with C,
right.
I wouldn't mind to have dated him at one point in time, but we're just big inspirations one another. Now I don't know what the future holds. I mean,
but why don't you take
man whores as friends? So
Shay, why don't you take the future into your own hands instead of letting fate play out? If you see a nigga out there that you like,
it's over. I mean, with C, we have already established what we are. So I mean, that's different. If it was somebody different,
why can't it change? Why can't it change?
To do it in a whole relationship,
right?
I don't want him. Like I mean, he's in a whole committed relationship.
But
you know what I mean?
So he's in a committed relationship, but how does he feel about you?
Maybe she's just
that shouldn't matter if he's in a whole relationship.
I mean,
how you feel about me?
I'm saying we just have a very platonic relationship.
Right.
We already discussed it. We've already had the conversation. I mean,
some things you just gotta let go.
Some things, I mean, it just is.
It is what it is.
Look, I'm gonna say this. And I'm have to. This is a place of honesty. And I promise you, I hope
she capping whenever they say that. That's an immediate cap.
Throw up the cap on the screen. Throw the cap.
That's like saying,
look,
hey,
throw the cap. Only one friend. It's only one friend that I decided to try to be with, and that's what you know who. Okay, and it did not work out. So I'm not about to do that again.
well, Huggy Pacino seems to take.
you know,
give Huggy Pacino a shot.
Look, no,
you said y'all friends on Facebook. What's wrong with him?
MoneyBoy Trey, you already know who I'm talking about too. So
I'm talking about Huggy Pacino. Fuck that nigga. Huggy Pacino has a liking for you.
Oh my goodness!
Look at the end of the day. At the end of the day, that friend zone friend is just a sloppy seconds. It is what it is. After she went through all her progressions, that's when she finally gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna give that guy a chance, and that's when that dude ended up being
I think
at the very end.
Some people just not meant to be together like that. Like I said, like me and C, we make the best business partners, but far as relationship, we would not be great in relationship. We laughed about it. We talked about it. We have already had these discussions. I'm like, what have we got together? He's like, well, that would be the funniest thing in the world. So we've already had, we're just great business partners. He's a great business partner.
Here's the thing.
So
if
you
guys
ignore me, hold up, PMP.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you just gonna ignore the fact that you saw Huggy in her shooting his shot earlier. He says he knows you from
not
Facebook.
Ignore Huggy. I actually acknowledged him.
In your city.
Did I not acknowledge him? I said.
Hold on. That's all right. I'm gonna put your ass on the spot. Talk. Hold on.
On blast. How dare you?
No, I just Huggy. I haven't really just talked to him other than on here. I haven't really seen him. I don't
tell
know.
him to pull up on the panel.
Oh,
and that's all he's seen from you. That he shows interest.
Oh, pardon my presence. Really, pull up on the panel. Like y'all is messy.
Pull him up on the panel, man.
You're messy.
But here's my question though: when you guys get married, all of these male friends are going to disappear.
No, like you can actually have. I personally have.
They're going to disappear.
Nope, you better not say you better have male friends when you married.
They're going to disappear.
Actually, when I was married, I still was friends with my best friends. I mean, he had female best friends. I had female best friends.
But then the marriage didn't work out at the end of it, right?
No, that's not the reason why, though.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with. I think that I'm put it this way. It's almost like would you abandon your sister or brother just because you started you started dating somebody?
Right.
That's family.
My sister? That's not the same
No,
thing.
I'm saying
Yeah, that's family.
I know, but
wait. Ask me that question again. What you say?
I said some people.
You so messy.
I said some people. Some people are really. Some people have been with you for. Some people are just like family to you,
right?
And so it's not necessarily a sensual thing. Like I would see if it's like, hey, do you like that person, or if it's some other thing that happened. But it's nothing wrong with having male female friends. It's just that you have to have an understanding about where it's
all
at.
about trust,
and it's about trust too.
Right.
I personally don't have an issue. I say back then though, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like his female friends. And I went off on a couple of them. And they thought I was crazy, and I was, But I'm saying now my mindset is I've grown from that very toxic place. So I really wouldn't mind having a man with female friends as long as it's establishment. Like I need to know y'all.
See, listen to what you're saying though. You're saying you don't mind for him to have female friends as long as he abide by your rules.
No.
So if that be the case, then you don't need them.
No, I didn't finish my.
You don't need them friends.
No, I said
you don't trust them either.
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's deeper than that. That's what I'm saying. If I end up with a guy with female friends, it's not depending on whether or not how I feel about them. It's about him being honest about their relationship.
Exactly.
And so long as it's a transparency, I don't have to meet them. Long as it's a transparency, like this is my friend, So I'm just saying, give me the rundown because I need to know, because if I meet this person and my intuition goes off like, hey, and I'm like, hey, your friend like you.
Right.
Like will he be
receptive? It ain't about trust about him, it's about trust about that friend.
Right. So it's deeper than that. But I don't have issues.
But you guys are making an argument as to why the friends are gonna fall off.
No, the friends don't have to fall off. I'm saying you can be happily married, you can be having dinner together, New Year's Eve. You don't have to fall off just because my male friends don't have to fall off. Now, if they like me and I end up being married or whatever, that's how I know they like me if they fall off. But if you really are my male friend and you really care for me in a way like you want to see me grow and progress, you will not fall off.
But remember what your friend said. Sorry, I don't know your name, but remember what you said about having a best friend in the house that you have access to. You can't have a male friend and then have a husband as a best friend. No, because they're gonna serve the exact same purpose.
No,
you say that as a woman,
Lashae, seem like you can't have more than one best friend.
Like you have different types of relationships.
Y'all are saying that right now. Y'all
at the marriage,
right
those are two best men.
PMP, they saying this shit right now. But let that nigga come home and talk about their best friend is a female and watch how many problems this shit cause.
I'm currently talking to a guy with nothing but female friends.
To be honest with y'all basically describing a polygamous relationship.
That is not
all except for you sleeping with one and you got one on the back burner just in case. That's what it is.
How?
Hold on, wait a minute.
What was the question?
No, they talking about.
Someone's on three-way.
They're talking about.
I need y'all to address this comment on the panel, women.
Hold on. They're talking about, if you're married and your spouse having like friends of the opposite sex.
Gabe's right.
Hold on.
I co-sign what Gabe said too.
Hold on.
That had female friends as best friends. It didn't bother me at all.
Yo, watch a man's female friends. Are they ugly?
She was saying something.
Did you say are they ugly?
Wait.
The man's female friends are they ugly?
If they pretty, it don't bother me. If
PMP,
you got a pretty
let
friend,
them get away.
I'm not intimidated by that.
Lashae, Queen, and the other chick on the phone, I need y'all to address the comment that's on the screen.
Hold on.
What's the comment?
A real man's female friends are chicks he don't dig like that. He gave up. Yeah, I truly agree. I agree.
That's just free game. So there is no friend zone with us unless that nigga is gay or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's the only exception to the rule. Other than that, they are placeholders. Period.
Yeah, I mean, look. Hold on, wait a minute. Continue what you say?
Yeah, I said it. They're placeholders. Period.
Hold on. Was you trying to say something? My thing is, it's all about. I'm so sorry.
So you think men can't have female friends?
My thing is, it does not matter
No,
for females,
especially when you're married. No.
Look, if a woman is attractive, I don't feel in a way about if my guy's around another attractive female because I'm confident like that. I don't like she not me, I'm not her. Now my thing is what he need to be concerned about is how his male friends feel about me.
Right.
So I mean,
what kind of rebuttal is that though?
Exactly.
That goes with what we talking about.
My man MoneyBoy Trey in the building. He said, hit that like or we gonna fight. Make sure you check him out on YouTube.
See what y'all did? See what y'all did? Y'all done brought Tommy on the screen. Now y'all done brought Rush up here too.
Oh, Rush, come on. Yes. Perfect timing.
We just had a guy named Danico Rice pop up, but he dropped down. So hopefully he comes back to join the conversation.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh no, he's fine. Anybody is welcome to the conversation. Hopefully he comes up. Gabe, you did it again.
Mama, I honestly think that it takes an understanding. I really don't care about anybody I'm dating being around other attractive females because another attractive female is not a threat to me. I may be a threat to her. So that's the difference. I mean, everybody is who they are.
Stop lying.
That's your cue, Rush.
And it's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want to have a female friend, let us all hang out together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying.
Lashae, you just said earlier that you was getting jealous about the one.
No, it's not jealous. What I'm saying is,
man, okay, well, even forget this time. The last time you said dude was acting funny because he just stopped hitting you up and stuff every day. How you know he wasn't with his female best friend?
Oh my God.
That's my best friend. That's my person I'm sleeping with.
Well, look, I'm just saying, I think once you get in a relationship, I think the opposite sex friend needs to have respect for the relationship. Right. That definitely needs to be established once that marriage or kinship, whatever is established. However, as far as I'm not insecure about anything. Like I'm talking to a guy with nothing but female friends. I haven't met them. He's only met one of my male friends, and he feels insecure about me being around them. I'm like, dude, I've never met any of your female friends. I'm not insecure.
You want to know why he does not feel good about you hanging out with?
Wait a minute. What you say?
You breaking up?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. No, you breaking up.
All right, what about now?
I don't know if Hugs is coming over. I called him and he didn't answer.
I'm gonna meet mine.
I texted him, so I'm waiting on him to respond back. Yes, I'm playing matchmaker tonight, Lashae. So if this don't work out with you, it's your fault because Huggy ain't no thug. He's a regular, hardworking young man. He's a content creator, and he is very, very interested in you.
And he don't want to be a placeholder.
Listen, no guy wants his girl to have a lot of male friends. Because in real life, in my reality, a male cannot be a female's friend. He's trying to smash. And your boyfriend knows that.
Well, I'm just saying, if a guy can have a lot of female friends, why can't a female have a lot of guy friends?
We said no. None of y'all should have friends. Period. When you in the relationship,
ma'am, because you're not the man, you're not the breadwinner. That's why you can't do what you cannot do what men do. Why can men sleep? Why can men sleep with a whole host of women and not be called a host of women?
Trey, what does that have to? We're human. I'm talking about the human.
It's called double standards, and you have to understand as a woman.
Well, if it's a double standard,
y'all need to drop those standards.
Then it need to be dropped.
No, we don't, because y'all get away with shit that we can't do. Y'all like, okay, if we need to drop that double standard, we need to drop the standard of men have to be chivalrous, open doors, pay for first dates, and all that.
And women can cater to their man.
I'm saying, look, but it deals with the male ego. If the man ego can't deal with a woman, have a lot of male friends, you got a lot of female friends, that's your ego. You can just go on and be by the door. Screw you. If that's where you at,
it's not about ego.
It is ego.
It is ego.
Everything is about ego.
Ego, yeah, it is ego. Because you want to feel like she don't have options.
Listen. Let me interject.
Like she don't have people that's males in her corner. But you got females in yours. That's just one-sided.
It's not about ego. It's about staying sucker free.
You heard?
It's about saying sucker free.
Hold on.
Sucker free?
Yeah.
What?
Every guy knows any chick with a lot of male friends is probably a jump off. You know what I mean? You're not supposed to be cool with a lot of dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Why we can't be cool with a lot of dudes?
Look, my entire life, guess what?
Like
I've had mostly male friends.
How many of you had
I've
sex
just
with them?
started to have female friends now in my 30s. In my like 28 to 30s.
You just connect to who you connect to.
Right. So I connect well with men. I mean, it is what it is.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
Anybody wife you up?
Have anybody wifed me up? I'm not wifed up because right now I don't want to be wifed up.
No, because you're not moving accordingly.
That's a lie. You have to say all women want to be wifed up.
I'm not saying at this point in time, I am just fine being single. And
so if the man of your dreams walks up to you now after this stream, are you still gonna be single? Come on, cut the shit.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a quality guy, of course, but for him to say, "Oh, you can't have male friends,"
I'm gonna have Huggy hit you in your DM.
He better be all that the way you shoving him.
Look,
he so better be all that.
So
he better not drop the ball.
He's so wrong.
I mean, y'all.
It may be Lashae that dropped the ball with all these unreasonable ass standards you fucking get.
Y'all for real up here moving the goalposts.
How did this go from healthy relationships to this? Is this the after hour of the show?
He said he's trying to build a healthy relationship right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, cause I mean, at the end of the day, if you're gonna do all that, y'all both have all these friends, you might as well just have an open relationship.
No, my thing.
Call it what it is.
No, it's that's what I'm saying. It's not.
How is friendship the same?
It's not everybody. That's what I'm saying. As humans, we have different connections with different people. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, embrace it. My thing is to restrict somebody. Hey, you got to be with me. You can't talk to nobody else. That's just very restrictive.
What about your spiritual family?
What about your? I mean, you don't know what connection somebody may have. Somebody, despite their sexual,
your business colleagues,
right? That may be a business partner,
right?
So, right.
Now, y'all capping now. Y'all sitting up here trying to add all these brand new scenarios. We're just not talking about that. And y'all know it.
Ain't that what black women do all the time? I mean,
not all black women.
I'm just being real.
You can't put all black women in the same boat. We're not putting all black men in the same boat.
Since I've been a teenager, I've had nothing but male friends.
All of y'all are wired the same way. Y'all are manipulators.
No, and y'all are manipulators too.
Right.
So hold on.
We learn how to be manipulated. Y'all are born with
you have to be.
Yes, faith. Come on, bring some faith in this.
I'm saying, look, it's about an understanding.
Yes, and communication.
Like you can have different kind of connections with different people. If you choose to be married to somebody and like, hey, you cannot be with this person.
Right.
You like if that person been with them through everything. Like that's kind of like saying like you cannot be around that person. There's some sense of insecurity. Like as you're concerned, hey, that person can take my place one day.
Right.
I'm not concerned about somebody taking my place one day. Apparently, y'all had something going on before we even hooked up, before we even decided to be together.
Exactly.
But it's about
trust and being open and being vulnerable about the situation.
Right.
If you can't ride with that, y'all shouldn't have been in a relationship anyway.
Right.
Shay, so why were you upset when that man stopped calling you and texting you on a regular like he did? If it don't matter to you, if it's just not meant to be, why were you so upset?
Like recap.
It was a guy that you were saying on one of the shows. You said that you figured he was doing something because he stopped texting you and calling you like he used to at the beginning.
Oh,
so you're of the mindset that I ain't worried about the next bitch taking it, because if the next bitch take them, then it just wasn't meant to be. Why were you upset?
Oh,
You
talking
talking about a relationship though.
Oh yeah, we were in a relationship. You talking about Elijah?
Ma'am, relationship or not, you just said if I'm not worried about somebody else taking my shit. But you were upset.
But that's what I'm saying. You have to
the
understand.
Man stopped doing the shit that he was doing.
But look, the type of man. That's what I'm saying. Look, Elijah was a certain type of man. Every man is different. Look, everybody's different. I've been in a relationship with different types of men. Elijah, I'm trying to remember because that's old energy. That's the energy with Elijah. So
I'm
old.
just busting your balls right now because I've been
said.
quiet most of the night. I'm just busting your balls.
I know. He just like messing with you.
That's
but we do have to understand this though. When you're in a relationship with a female or a man, you know, even if you have friends, then that woman or that man needs to know that you have friends, and you got to get an understanding that they are friends. Now, this is the thing though. It's a respectful. You got to respect you being in the relationship with that man. And even though you have friends or with that woman, even though you have friends, that woman needs to know that, hey, this is my lady, or, you know, for as women, this is my man. And it's a respectful thing because I know a lot of people that has been in relationship that has male and female friends and know about the particular person that's in their relationship. Boundaries has to be set, whether they friends with you from the beginning or 10 or 12 years. Still, when you come into a relationship, it's certain boundaries that a friend shouldn't cross.
Exactly.
Right. Exactly. It's just about having that conversation. Like, hey, where y'all at? And I think that's what
don't be up at 2:00 in the morning talking on the phone with your so-called friend.
Like your so-called friend calling you, I want to talk to you. Like, yeah, so definitely the boundaries need to be set. It's just about having that understanding. Like, hey, so it's just, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's about having that. But it's nothing wrong with your significant other having the opposite sex, whether or not they have a big butt, whether or not they attractive. My thing is, it's all about how confident are you. Like, I have been in relationships where if I have a male friend, they had an issue with how other men saw me. I'm like, I'm not having an issue with your female friends, so why you having issues with how somebody see me? So it was more of insecurity on his end than mine. So it depends on where I was at in that particular relationship.
Right.
Or if I was in that headspace. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Let me throw out this scenario
That's
with y'all.
mean. The Simpsons on the Simpsons.
Hey, let me throw out this scenario with y'all real quick.
I mean, folks just mean. You can go to bed somewhere.
All right, so let me throw out this scenario, okay? So do you have this guy friend, right? And you confide in him, right? He could call you and 3:00 in the morning, and y'all could talk about whatever, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever and stuff, right? I'm saying if he have like a serious issue, y'all had that type of friendship, correct? But once when you enter into that realms into being in a relationship with someone else, it changes because at first that was y'all original standard because that's what y'all used to with your friend. But now you're in the relationship, that man is gonna require for you to have respect for him. So if your friend call you at 3:00 in the morning, he thinking that that's the way that it's supposed to be because that's how I always been.
I don't have
I'm saying so like things either one or two things gonna happen. The person that you in a relationship right now is gonna have a problem with it, and then he's gonna give you an unrealistic expectation, telling you that hey, that dude don't need to be calling you no more at 3:00 in the morning. That dude, your friend, is gonna come back and say, you know what? I've been friends with her longer. You be in a relationship, so that ain't fair. So you're gonna have to choose between me or you. So in that situation, how do you handle that?
I don't have male friends like that. I actually establish a healthy boundary automatically. After 11 o'clock, we ain't talking. So I say 12 is the max if it's like a real emergency. But I like the habits I established in my single life. I'm going to take them into one relationship. I already established those boundaries. So
let's say we can move the goalpost. So we can say it at 12. We say at 12 o'clock. We say at 12 o'clock. What if your friend call you at 12 o'clock?
Now, if I'm in a relationship, I would already have had that conversation. Like, hey, I'm with so. You're gonna have to call me at an earlier time. I've already established that before he even tried that. So
you moving the goalposts again. All right, 10 o'clock. What if your friend want to call you at 10?
The same thing goes. Like when I'm in a relationship, like my friendships or any guy friends I have now, even if it's a client concerning like, hey, I want a coaching session. I'm like, no, I'm going to set that. I set boundaries automatically already. Everyone in my life already knows that. So when I'm in a relationship, the guy I'm with, he already knows where he stands in my life. He knows where the friendship stands in my life. It's an open communication. He's met that friend. I mean, so they won't even try me like that because no, I'm not. It's a no-go. I have already had that conversation beforehand. I mean, that's just me.
Okay. So that's something that we do need to take in consideration. Sometimes, to be honest with you, when you're in a relationship with a male or a female, even if you have friends, you know what I'm saying, it comes a limit to the relationship with you and that person when you're involved with someone. It's not about low self-esteem. It's not about, I'm just saying, I'm not saying what you went through, but I'm saying it's not about low self-esteem. It's not like a trust issue. It's nothing like that. It's more of the respect. And I think that a lot of times when we have friends and when we do, meet someone that, you call yourself liking or start dating or whatever the case may be, the most respectful thing is respect. And a lot of people goes in relationship knowing that they have friends and it's okay to have friends and it's okay to talk to them and it's okay to go out with them when they still in a relationship with a man and a woman. It depends on the individual. Okay. And so if you have respect for that woman and respect for that man, then like I said, there's boundaries set. And when boundaries are set, you should be more taking in consideration of that man or that woman being in a relationship and them being happy or spending time with, the person that they're dating at that time. But at the same time, it's boundaries. And a lot of relationships don't have that when they first start talking to certain people, females or males. But to
Absolutely.
me, I don't think it's healthy. That's just me. I don't like when I was single, because I'm married. When I was single, what I'm saying, it's okay to have, male friends from school or whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. But once I decide to get married, yes, my male friend knew who my husband was, but it was off limits with that. It's not that they didn't want to see me happy. It's just a respect thing that I have for my husband.
Yeah,
And my
absolutely.
husband know, them, and then he had female friends as well. But once we started dating and once we was married, then they respected that. Do you understand what I'm saying? But me personally, I don't think it's healthy when you're in me personally, I don't think it's healthy when you're in a relationship or you being married to have female friends or male friends, because sooner or later it's gonna cause a problem.
Absolutely.
That's
And
just
and
me.
I yeah, and I agree with that point too, Miss Faith. And it was the same process with me. Prior before I got married, I not had female friends. I not had several female friends. I'll be honest with you, a lot. But once when I entered into the relationship and started dating, I had to let my friends know, hey, look, I'm dating and this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that boundary could already be established beforehand. So when I get into a serious relationship with, my wife now, they already know right off the bat. So when I became married, that's when they fell all the way off. No communication or nothing like that whatsoever. Because I established that. I'm like, hey, look, I don't want no issues. I don't want no problems with my marriage. My wife is my best friend. I don't see no reason why I need to have any more female best friends. Period. It's because my wife is my best friend. She's on the top of the pole. The rest of them, y'all just what it is. And so that's how I treat it as.
And it's not like you're disrespecting the male that you're cool with or been friends with, but the most important, or the female, the most important thing is when you're friends, you want to see your friends happy, and just
Absolutely.
to know that they in a healthy relationship and they happy, that's all you should want for them. And so you stepping back knowing that you see them happy, or they're in a relationship and they happy and they secure and all that, it shouldn't be feeling any type of way, because that's what you should want for your friends, and guess what, that's what they should want for you as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Then another one perspective I want to share with y'all about this. Whenever you have that male and female type of friendship, and y'all not married, normally what's happening is that y'all are complimenting each other. Even though y'all not in a relationship, y'all in a relationship. Even though it's not intimacy, but it's another level of intimacy. It's like it's more of a platonic intimacy that y'all sharing with each
Hmm.
other. So y'all going out, y'all want spending time with each other, y'all confining with each other as though you are, but you really ain't. So
Right.
deep down inside, y'all do have some type of feelings for each other. So when you enter into that actual relationship with a person that you actually want to be with, that's when the issue happened about the friend zone and stuff that I was mentioning about.
I agree.
So just cut them off. It's just cut them off. Unless y'all
Hmm.
went to open relationships, then that's different.
Yeah, when
Or
then that's a
polyamorous
whole
relationship.
right. That's a whole different ball game now. Like I said, you find some people that's in open relationship, and open relationships, we can go on and on about the open relationship. That means that they fine with their friends, they fine with going out with their friends, they fine with kicking it, going out of town. They fine with a lot of things when it comes to certain, when that type of relationship, and then he do him and he got lady friends and he kicking it and it ain't no problem, and they at his house and he at his house. Some people have relationships like that. That's why I said from the beginning, it all depend on what you want. And whatever you're looking for, then you have to understand that you have to be honest with that person to let them know this is what I'm looking for. You can't like sugarcoat it, just because he's telling you some things that he has been through in his life, and then you come along and you try to understand different things and you explain the things that you've been through and you build your relationship from there. No, you need to build your relationship from you and him, not the things that he done went through in his past relationship, or the things that you done went through in your past relationship. Everything has to be laid down on the table.
Yeah, another thing too. Earlier we were speaking about men that's looking for peace, but normally men, but women, everybody's looking for peace. So when you're doing things like that, you end up having this friend in your relationship while you're in a relationship. That it is way too messy. It has caused unnecessary problems where y'all end up going somewhere and one of your other friends will see y'all out, then they end up going back and reporting it saying, hey, I seen them out and they was having drinks, whatever. How you feel about that? And you have to deal with all this unnecessary stuff when all that could be resolved just by cutting that person off, and it'll be exclusive for you. Only if y'all into monogamous relationships.
Exactly. And then you also have to think about sometimes when relationships don't work out, the number one thing that people do is find out that the relationship didn't work out and then start, well, you let me go because you got a relationship with that man, or you had a relationship with that woman and you didn't want to have nothing else to do with. A lot of people hear a lot of backlash because of being in a relationship with an individual at that time. So like I said, you got to be careful, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to dating, because a lot of things now these days and times, you definitely have to be careful from a man point of view and also from a woman's point of view.
Yep, I agree. I agree. So we sat here took up the whole long dialogue.
Yeah. Where is Money Boy at? Money Boy, Money Boy. Where is him and Joy? But yeah, great conversation though. I had a phone call and I had to jump down, but I was listening. Uh, it's always good to communicate with different people. Everybody go through different things in life. You know, whether it's good, whether it's bad, we go through them. Whether it was healthy, whether it was toxic, whatever the case may be, we go through things in life. And the next individual that you decide that you want to meet or be cordial with or start dating, you just have to be honest and loyal and faithful to that person and let them know how you feel. A lot of times when it comes to women, we do share a lot of things with a man because we feel comfortable at that time. A lot of women has got backlashes from that as well. But we got to understand that there's a lot of things that men took in consideration and telling a woman as well and got backlashes from that as well. So it all depends on what you're looking for. And whatever you're looking for, you got to understand the same thing that you're requiring from that man, then that man needs to be requiring the same thing from you. Okay. And a lot of times these days and times, a lot of, men's require different things, but a lot of women require a lot of things that they don't even have, but they looking for the man to have it. You understand what I'm saying? So
Yeah, there are unrealistic expectations.
yes, yes, yes.
Faith, you gonna make me start shouting up in here.
Oh, I didn't know where you was.
He
Hey,
behind the scenes
you
simping
know we
again.
are siding and podding, ma'am.
But now you have to be honest in situations like this. You understand what I'm saying? And I just, like I said, when it comes to relationships, I don't think that a lot of people like to be honest. And when a man open up to you and tell you, "Hey, this is me," then if that's him, you got to be willing to accept that, or you can reject that. And a lot of times, women, we want to receive it and we want, certain things, but you already know what it was from the gate. But then when you get into the relationship or you get into it with the man, then all of a sudden there's certain things that you don't like. But we got to understand at this certain time, he was honest with you and told you, "I'm a bachelor. I do this. I like this. I da." And he wasn't, he didn't lie to you. But then when it comes to women, we emotional. We get in our feelings, you know. And then when it comes to men have to realize too that a woman is very emotional. So a lot of things that we say and a lot of things that we do, sometimes we act off emotional. Sometimes we act off our behavior, not receiving certain things at that particular time. But at the same time, you have to be willing to understand a woman point of view as well. And women, we have to understand that we have to understand them as well. We totally different, totally different. We think different, we do things different, we act different, we dress different, we different. So I don't think that when you start dating, you have to understand what a woman has been through, and you have to understand what a man has been through. And I've been on a whole lot of panels, and even through different little classes or things that I participate in my city, and I hear a lot of things about man, 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 man. And I just come to a deaf ear to that because I don't like that. We got to put it on a scale. We can't just blame the man for everything. We got to understand that there's a lot of things that a woman and women has done as well and won't take accountability of the things that they have done to men as well. So it's not like I ride for just the man's, I ride for what's right. And you got to put it on a scale. I don't say, well, hey, I'm gonna lift all the women up and then put all of the men's down. I don't rock like that. I just come out and say, hey, let's put this on a scale and weigh this out. And when we weigh it out, we'll understand more. And it's always good to talk about things. Communication, just like 30%, it is good. That's the only way you're gonna understand that female. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only way you're gonna understand that man. And sometimes it gets to a point where you got to listen. That's the number one thing that men and women don't like to do. They don't like to listen. If you're gonna communicate, that means when you get through talking, then it's my turn. Don't interrupt. Let him finish saying what he have to say, and then that's when we respond. But then, man, we need for you all to be able to listen as well. And as you listen, you'll be able to understand where she coming from, and you'll be able to understand where he coming from. But if you're interrupting every time while he's talking, then that means you're listening to certain things, and evidently it must have put a button, but you're not willing to listen to everything else because now you're mad, now you're upset. But then when he go to somewhere else to talk, or somebody else to talk, or when she go to somewhere else or somewhere else to talk, then the number one thing they come and say is, I tried to tell you, but you didn't listen. I tried to talk to you, but you weren't understanding me. You didn't take out time to initiative to sit down and let's hear each other out.
Miss Faith, you must have been watching my videos, boy. I tell you.
I actually am trying to catch up on a lot of videos that I missed. But I like to keep it real.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree with you 100%. Now, another technique that I have learned is that we both men and women have to develop a certain trust where we could be able to confide in each other to talk about the tough conversation, the tough stuff that's really, really bothering us. This goes back earlier when we was talking about, men, they be holding their emotions, they don't want to talk and stuff, because like I stated earlier, it's a trust issue. If a man is confiding in you and telling you the certain thing that's really bothering you, he doesn't expect for you to go back and try to weaponize it in the future, in an argument or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So likewise, it's the same thing for us, that type of communication, that it have to be a trust there where you could just trust in your partner no matter what, wherever information it is. It don't matter what it is. It could be some dark, deep secret. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything. Let's create a crazy situation. Like it could be you robbing the bank and you told your significant other, hey man, no, not young, I robbed the bank and I got away with it. And you having that conversation. And so so that conversation should just be between you and your partner, not you. Then you go back and tell your homegirls, girl, he robbed the bank. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But it should be between y'all two, and that's how that trust and that effective communication will continue to grow.
I agree. But thank y'all for having me on the panel. I just wanted to jump up.
Hey.
Hmm?
Oh, she mistakenly put your mic on. My bad.
No, I thought she wanted to say something to her.
I did want to say something. I was like,
me?
Yes.
Okay.
Would you mind leaving your email or something? Because I really love your insight. Are you interested in being on my podcast or on like another? I would love just to collab with you. Yes, if you can leave your information.
Yes, this is what we do.
You have to go through Miss Faith manager, which is JJ. Then you have to go through her assistant manager, which is MoneyBoy. Then you have to go through her other manager, which is Urban.
Lashae Urban Therapist is on Facebook. Look him up on Facebook under
the information.
Urban Therapist.
I'm talking about Faith. I got Urban Therapist information.
Okay.
Well, the Faith show, Faith. Yeah, you got to get back to it too, because we enjoyed those interviews that you were doing. And you just stopped, Miss Faith. We was enjoying them interviews.
My bad.
Yep.
So listen, I have a YouTube channel called The Faith Show.
Okay. Could you drop it? Like give some information to Trey.
Okay. Can one of the moms drop The Faith Show? Thank you.
Link now.
Thank you. But also, you can get my email from Joy, if you would like, and we can go from there. And I thank y'all so much. I really enjoyed this panel. It's always good to hear different opinions and the way people think, their process, things that people have went through in their life, and we find people that is achieving and moving on and didn't allow things to hold them back. And I applaud everybody for that because we got to understand that relationships sometimes people have strongholds and we have to break through a lot of things. And the only way that you can get through them is you have to press through the situation. Okay. All situations are rough situations, some good, some bad, some, toxic, some not. But at that particular time in everybody's life, everybody has went through something in their life. Okay. And we have to be like living testimonies. We got to be able to share different things with people, and it may be somebody out there that's willing to listen, to the things that, you don't have to be all out in the open, but you can share just a little bit and you'll never know who you can touch. So this, platform right here, also therapists, we're gonna have to start going over there. Me and you supposed to be doing something together as well. But it's
Oh,
much
hey,
needed
I'm
in.
waiting. I'm
Oh,
waiting.
I'm ready. I'm ready because you's next in line. Okay, I'm ready for you. So I get with you, but I don't mind doing some things with y'all ladies as well. I will be back on my channel this weekend. And maybe we can do something this weekend if you're available. But it's much needed to be talking about situations, relationships, um,
Lashae, I
because it's,
just inboxed you her YouTube channel, by the way. And if you, like she said, hit me up or I can get
yeah,
you her
yeah.
contact information.
Mm-hmm. So, this is, like I said, this is much needed in the community. I really enjoyed this live. I was listening to it even when I had to jump down. I was still listening to it. A lot of times we have to realize that relationships, whether you're in the relationship that you once was in or in a relationship now, you learn from it. And that's what I need for people to understand, men and women. Whether some people say it was a bad relationship, still you learn something from it. And the things that we learn in life teaches us and motivate us to be a better person, to be a better person to the next person. Don't bring toxic relationships into a new relationship. Everything that you went through in your past relationship, leave it in the past relationship. When you're building a new relationship, it should be about you and that individual, not about something that somebody else then took you through. Because that person is going to be aware of a lot of things that a person has took you through. And sometimes people play on that. So we have to be, you know what I'm saying, honest with the person, yes. But at the same time, build your relationship on the with the person that you're getting to know. And always be honest with that person and set boundaries though. And so him or her will understand where you're coming from. So it won't never be where you never told me that. We hear that so much. Well, I never knew that. We hear it all the time. So this is something that we need to take in consideration even when it comes to friendships. We're supposed to value our friendships, but at the same time, we learn from all relationships. And that's something that we need to just push forward and realize. And this relationship right here I have, I learned from this. And you can write down the things that you did learn from relationship, but look at the relationship you're in now. Whether you're single or not, you still learn from relationships. And when people be in relationships, that means you took out time to allow that person into your personal space. Can I go there? Personal
No.
space. personal space. I'm going anyway.
Yes, go
Yes,
there. Go there.
yes.
Okay, personal space. And when you allow people in your personal space, that means you felt comfortable, right? You
Right.
felt
You
real
trust.
comfortable
Yes.
with that person at that time. And you were so comfortable that you was relaxing. You understand what I'm saying? And everything was to the good. You was like getting up, doing this, da da da. It was 100 at that time, right? That's our relationships. Everybody done been through something, right? But at that particular time, something happened. And regardless of what happened, you know what I'm saying? 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, we have to understand that some relationships have failed because of different things that went on in the relationship. And then it started being what? Toxic. And then it was the cussing and the fussing and the nagging and you don't do this and you do this. And it's the blame game. Come on now. I blame you. Well, you did this. Well, you did this. Well, you did. It's called a blame game. And then once you start blaming, then that means the relationship start being more toxic. And then you find yourself separating from each other. The love that you used to have is not there anymore because it was a disrespectful thing. And the disrespectful thing turned into other things. And the other things turn into no relationship at all. So that's why I asked the question, what are you looking for? And the person that you're talking to or you involved, you got to understand when they be honest with you and tell you this is what I'm looking for, do you have that inside of you or can you give him what he's looking for? And the same thing as a woman. Can we give that man the things that he say that he's looking for? Are you that material? Because a lot of times we're not that material. We try to be. Same thing when it comes to a man. So the thing about it is, what are you looking for in life? What is going to satisfy you completely? Not some, not for a moment, not for 6 months, not for a year, but can you satisfy me completely? Mind, body, and soul. This Faith Robinson, I approve this message. Okay. Shout out to the
We need to
panel.
drop a bomb, drop a
We
mic,
need to
drop
drop a ball or
something.
something because we over here over here about to cry.
Who invited Dennis up to this panel? We having a real discussion.
Look,
So
I believe Dennis is
Trying to
married, so
make-
he may have great insight. I think he's married.
Yes,
I'm not
that
sure. If
that
he's
was
not married,
amazing.
he's in a relationship.
hey, Money Boy, a Mouse Day game. Hey, therapist, always a pleasure with you. Thank
Likewise,
y'all,
appreciate
ladies,
it.
as well. Shout out to the panel. And guess what? I'm still gonna be looking. I'm looking, and I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be looking for the email, and I'm gonna be listening to you all. Okay, and I'm out.
See you, Faith.
Bye bye.
Wait a second. Can you hear me?
That was amazing. That was
Can y'all
awesome.
hear us?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear.
we can still hear y'all.
Look, we over here having a whole conversation. This woman over here dropping bombs, extra sauce. She got the man, I need to meet her. But
she's in Tennessee as well.
you know
Oh,
what? What? I just subscribed. We about to watch. We about to watch one of her videos after this.
She actually interviewed Joy Chit tonight. That's why I said I enjoy when she does her conversations like this, her public speaking and interviewing people. Like, she's dope at that shit. The
Man,
first
I
time I heard her
just feel
speak,
like falling asleep
I
in her
was like,
arms.
she
I'm
asked
just like,
real questions.
yes, she do. I just felt I'm like, I felt like a little bit baby. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm writing down notes over here.
Yes, mother.
You know what? So how do y'all feel about the panel today?
Yes.
Oh, it was great. We had a very great dialogue today, and I appreciate it.
Oh, maybe like I was thinking about actually maybe doing it on my page, but maybe we should speak on financial literacy,
Yes.
and molestation in the Black household, things like that, because like I'm saying, like I going through this situation like that, and went through a situation like that, and just really educating Black people,
Right.
Well, I mean, would you like to be doing? Would you like to do something like that in sometime in the future?
Yes.
Hey,
Like,
hey, it's your show. Whatever you do, I'll be down with it.
okay, because molestation is always swept under the rug.
Right.
We need to we need to learn how to invest. Do something that's like really invest in our families, generational wealth, and that's what the Shay's Couch conversation is about. We're gonna be speaking about some stuff and some transparent moments, and you're gonna hear about some stuff I really don't want to expose. But anyways. What?
I didn't say anything.
You did. Your eyes said everything.
I didn't say nothing.
Yes, it did.
I didn't say nothing.
But thank you, MoneyBoy Trey, and for this opportunity.
Hello.
You got to excuse him. He's simping right now, but he
Yeah, I can do that.
but he appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great show y'all did tonight. I was sitting back listening in the cut while I work on some things and shit.
It was God bless.
Let me be petty right quick. Slow buckets. See, this is what real entertainers and content creators do. We actually focus on real topics. Nobody got cussed out. We weren't talking about celebrity gossip or nothing like that. We focused on ourselves and our relationship experiences, ma'am.
Right.
You know what? Thank you for putting me on, Money Trey. I'm learning a lot from you. I watched the Eddie Winslow show. It was like so funny. I'm tripping. And there was another show I didn't get a chance to watch because I had a class assignment. But I love your podcast. I love your podcast. My other friend Shantuan, he has a podcast, Shantuan's Truth. So I don't have his information on there, but yeah. But he has
tell that nigga to get up with me.
I like you, Urban. When you said somebody smacking your wife button, look, I can't wait till
that's what you do when you're married.
Right. I can't look. I won't look.
Matter of fact, MoneyBoy doing it right now with Joy. That's what you do.
Look,
no comment, sir.
Like I really do desire marriage. It's just I know right now I have to build my brand, and I know if the right guy come along, I'm not gonna say no. It's just like I found a lot of guys like when like me just being in a certain mode or me doing what I do, I'll make time, but it's like, oh, I can't put you at the center of my world if I got this other stuff going on just for you to come on up where I am. I'm not about to do that. So, but I can say, it is some quality guys out there, and I enjoy being single and I love being in relationships. But when that marriage thing happened for me again, I'm not rushing it.
Right.
But when it happens,
question.
What's Hughie at?
What do you love about being single?
Well, I love the freedom.
Freedom.
And I don't know. It's such a freedom in being single, and also it's
what do you mean by that?
And just taking time to get to know you, loving yourself.
Why can't you do
you
that?
You don't have to second guess everything what you're doing.
You still can't. I think that it's
so.
Just,
are y'all saying relationships lack freedom?
No, it don't. No. What I'm saying is, well, I can't speak from Alexandra's point of view. I can speak from mine. And when I was married, it was almost like I had to be this military wife. I had to be this person. I wasn't able to be myself, and I wasn't able to evolve to the person I am now. But now I believe I can be in a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage, and still be myself. It's just that guy haven't shown up yet. So I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing until he figures out what he wants. It's like I do want to have that where it is like them. I say the freedom part for me is really like if I want, like if I get an idea at 2:00 in the morning to go and do a podcast, it's like I'm not saying I can't do that in a relationship, but I can do that. Like if I want to just paint at 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, then it's like I get up and do it. It's like I don't have to. It's like I don't have that. It's just such a freedom in that. Like if I want to go out, I have to get a babysitter, of course, but it's like a different level of freedom that I did not have in a relationship. Now I'm not in a relationship currently, but once I get in a relationship, it's just a different thing. Because I realized when I was in a relationship, if I wanted to do that, even though I have my own place, I pay my own bills, all these different things, it was almost like it was kind of like, well, I got this thing going on. I'm like, well, I want to do this over here. So it's like I really wasn't, I had to compromise more. I don't mind compromising, but it's like when God gives me an idea or a name of a podcast or a business idea, it's like I want that equal partner that I can share that with, and we can have that vision where he can understand that.
Right.
And not
support you.
And support me and why I support him instead of trying to make me to fit into this box.
Right.
Where he wants me at, and I'm not going to try to make him fit in the box because the box no longer exists with me. So it's going to have to take a guy that's really understanding. And on top of that, I get a whole bunch of attention from guys. I don't ask for it, but I'm in the public. So it's like I get it a lot. And so it's going to have to be a guy that's not insecure, because I'm not insecure. So this is one of those things where it is what it is. But I'm content whether I'm in a relationship or single. So I'm not lacking in either or. I think it's just about having the compatible partner.
Right.
Well, what's your definition of compatibility?
I mean, it's like it's really dealing with someone that is like that polar opposite. I'm not saying someone have to actually do everything I do, but it's almost like it was something you said earlier. I wrote it down. Balance. Balance equals having an equilibrium. Both sides are meeting in the middle. So it's that person that's your perfect balance. And it's that person that balances you out in a ways that you wouldn't even think you need balance.
Right.
And so it's just for me, and spiritually, we can pray together, we can meditate. Hey, if you doing this, if you playing a video game, I can read my book. You know what I mean? We don't have to do the same thing. It's just about just meeting each other in the middle and deciding to stay together and be together through all the BS.
Right.
Yeah, because that's exactly how me and my wife is right now. Like I'm big on being a content creator. But what I do, it's not interesting to her, so I don't require for her to, be up on the shows with me or panels or anything like that, because I know that's not interesting to her. But however, she do support it though. She always asks me every single time, like, hey, what were y'all talking about on? And we'll talk about it. We have a discussion or even debate about some of the stuff that we didn't talk about, either where I was on a panel or on my personal show all the time. But that's where the balance part comes, and the other part of the balance is the respect too, where we respect each other. Like I mean, case point right now. She's out right now, and I'm here on the panel right now, and so she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. I just call and check on her, make sure she's good and stuff. That's it, But that's all part of the balance, and as you said, the compatibility part. Because compatibility doesn't mean you have to be 100% equal to each other. Because you know how women and men are, when you have somebody who's exactly like you, you're going to become bored of that.
Right. And my daughter, she's just like me. I don't like her. Every time you don't want somebody like you, you're not going to like them. Because especially this part of you.
Annoying.
But yeah, so I'm still learning. I still have a lot of growing to do. And I think, but as I continue to trust God, continue to walk my path, and continue to tune in and just elevate, I realize the guys are more intimidated. I'm like, and I don't know
Right.
why.
I literally have a guy told me that you intimidate me. I was like, why? Because you just know so much. I'm like, what kind of madness is that? I'm like, you never been with a woman that knew a lot. It just
like do they want like some woman
it was a red flag.
You want a pretty face, pretty body, but someone that's dumb,
right? Like you want somebody that's a pushover.
A pushover. You know? So I'm like, I don't understand, but I'm a very flexible woman concerning like listening, being there, supportive,
right?
All that. I'm understanding. I'm patient, and I've been through a lot. I just don't want any BS. Right. So. I mean, it is what it is. And like Huggy, I think he was on here for a bit. I did acknowledge him and everything. So he hasn't hit me up. He hasn't hit me up.
He probably intimidated.
No, I mean, my thing is, I think some people.
Oh, believe me, he's not intimidated.
No, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. I mean, I had a couple conversations with him way some time ago, but I haven't really just talked to him like that. But I think that's part of the growth. And I'm sure that someone will be like, I need someone that's going to challenge me, not someone like, well, you're doing this, you need to stop. I need someone like, hey, I want to do this with you. I want a partnership.
Yeah.
Boo.
I desire a partnership. So maybe you want to do it with me. Hey, somebody, I don't know. It's just about, like you said, the support. But anyway, it's like
in the inbox near you.
Oh, who is this? Oh.
What?
I'm telling you, Huggy will be in an inbox near you.
Okay. Well, right now okay. I mean, if he's in our inbox, that's okay. I don't mind. He seemed like a cool dude. So, but anyways, future shows, let me know how, like, what if y'all want to talk about those things. And I do my research or stats, make sure I have some books to back it up or something. So that people can read or just a website.
Ma'am, this is your show. Whatever you want to talk about, that's what we're going to talk about. You don't have to ask us. Let's do it, and we'll pull up.
Who is this Shameen Arlene?
She mean Earl.
Oh, she mean Earl. Savage. I've been sober for 6 years. Oh,
that's not for you, ma'am. He's talking to a guy in the chat.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, so anyways, we're going to check out this fake show because I'm about to listen. Oh, by the way, can I show y'all something?
Go ahead, ma'am. This is your show.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. A minute.
Boy, for a second there, I thought she was going to show her butt.
Wait a minute. You think I don't like these though? Because I was crunching, I was eating these. Like that's why we was on.
Urban said he want to see that ass.
Look.
No, I don't.
Look, I cooked some. I'm trying to see if y'all can get a closer picture. I cooked some.
Is that vegan food?
Yes. I fried some cauliflower. Just trying.
It look like fried chicken on. It's the bomb.
And so I was over here eating it off camera.
Yeah, that's why she kept going off camera. She was feeding her face.
I was like, this is my husband. But
how you gonna be going off camera eating? Is this your show?
I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to eat because my daughter's. I didn't get a chance to eat all my food.
Right.
Anyways, look. That barbecue sauce slamming, man.
I mean, I ain't tried barbecue sauce.
Twerk that ass. Twerk that
ass. This might end Jared time around. Anyway.
So how are you gonna eat some vegan food but put barbecue sauce on it?
Don DeMarco.
What's wrong with the barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce.
That's like an oxymoron or something.
Sauce.
North Memphis.
No. Anyways, look.
JJ in the building.
Look, we're gonna go ahead and check out the show. And I actually checked out your show. I love your show.
I haven't seen your show, but I'm gonna check it out too.
Yes. Would you mind leaving your information in the
JJ, you did it again.
Who you talking about, me?
Who is this Chris guy? I'm not.
Chris, let me. Chris is my paid white troll. He is in here because I know that niggas have a problem not paying attention and staying focused on the task at hand. So every time somebody always says, "Who is Chris?" that lets me know they're not paying attention to what's going on the actual panel. You have to ignore the people in the crowd. Their job is to distract you and say fucked up shit most of the time.
Oh yeah, because I'm sure ain't paying attention to that madness.
I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention.
That's why I'm like, I don't even like looking at the comments.
I'm like, what's wrong with these folks? Like, are they? Okay, but anyways, this was. I was like, okay. I was so nervous with the last panel, but this panel I'm way more confident.
Right. It was more laid back and chill. And whatever. But our next topic gonna be like more serious because we need to talk more about financial
and mental health.
Man and mental health, financial literacy, and just all.
Well, to be honest, this topic was serious too, but we just created an atmosphere where everyone was comfortable with expressing their perspective.
Right.
Yeah. It's but most definitely this is just the beginning, and this is my future partner in crime.
Yes.
You know, but show your shirt.
Oh, I got my shirt.
Yes, I bought one.
My company is the Queen's Knowledge. This my merch.
Let me see. I bought
this. Y'all don't invite me on y'all show, y'all ain't shit. And if you give me one of those shirts, I will wear it next time I go live.
You know what?
You promote your brand.
If you look, I actually need to finish getting my couch decided to do something crazy. So you are invited on.
Are you propositioning me for sex, man? What's up with this couch?
No, this is a conversation couch.
This is Memphis Couch Confession.
Yeah, this is Shay's couch conversations. Well, we're gonna have conversations.
Like freaky talk.
I would never do that, Trey. You are cool. I'm not even that type of female. Nope. I spend my nights going to bed with my pillows and going to bed or having schoolwork. Trust me, we good. Like we good. I'm married to my bed. I really am. I'll be in the bed if we weren't even doing this.
I probably would.
But yes, but most definitely, thank you again.
Yes, this was fun.
Oh, by the way, here.
This is Shay's merch.
This I have children's sizes, and
also I sell health and wellness products. Y'all try and get y'all body right.
And then
I have health and wellness. Y'all like cannabis. I sell edibles and all that stuff too. So, Alexandra Mod, that's my Facebook. Queen's Knowledge.
Oh, there you go.
All social media platforms.
There we go. And I'm also my book should be out soon. So
and I'm writing a book too. So
she's writing a book too.
Yeah.
We're doing some great things.
We're doing some stuff.
All right. Well, anyways, y'all.
Thank y'all for having us. This is fun, y'all.
You shout your channel out, Shay.
My channel,
podcast. Both of y'all shout out whatever social medias that y'all want people to follow y'all on.
A Queen's Knowledge on all social media. My Facebook page is Alexandra Mod. You interested in purchasing any of my products, please shoot me a quick DM and I got you.
Well, anchor.com/Lashae-Jackson. That's the podcast. And also Shay's Heart to Heart is the blog, and Lashae Jackson is on Facebook, and also check out the pages Shay's Heart to Heart as well as Shay's Couch Conversation, which are two different pages. The Shay's Heart to Heart is dealing with podcasts, and the Shay's Couch Conversation is dealing with the life coach sessions. So I will be having, hopefully, just speaking into existence live, either Zoom, phone call, or on this couch, having live conversations about real issues that's going to evolve the Black community.
Lashae.
So, yes.
I want to ask you something on your comment a minute ago. What was wrong with the last panel? I was on the last panel.
I ain't no wrong with last panel.
I was too.
The last panel was awesome. I was saying I was that was my first one. I was so nervous on
That wasn't your first one. This is like your third or fourth one.
No, I mean, far as like me actually putting the group together, talking about something.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, so it was just a different.
That one.
It was a different level of.
That's supposed to be.
That was new
She
for
had that
me.
little booty in the corner and shit.
Because I had to email people, try to get people together. I hadn't do that last time. This came on. It was different. So I'm looking forward to future panels and being up for at least 4 hours, 3 or 4 hours, and just really just listening and networking. Thank you.
Word. Yeah, I was just coming up here to fuck with you and shit.
I know.
Right. Ain't got nothing else better to do.
Nothing.
No, but for real, again, I was sitting back watching the show while I was renovating my cave here. Great show, great information. Looking forward to the next one and shit.
Just show it.
I'll just show it.
Because you try to use words.
Damn right.
What else you gonna use?
Well, anyways, I really appreciate y'all and be looking out for. I actually do blogs. And I do every Monday. I do publish a new segment, and I'm almost at the end of season 8. Within like 8 more. It's a couple more segments, and then season 9. So, anyways, let's just go ahead and spend these last 2 months just really getting our vision boards together. And this,
we need to do a vision board party.
Yeah, we do need to. Yeah. But
man,
anyway,
what the fuck are you listening to?
But anyway,
put that shit down.
We love y'all.
Got that goddamn damn.
We love y'all. I'm hoping that this really brought about some good conversations and.
Right.
Yeah.
It definitely did. As I told you last time, I don't know if you could see the numbers, but for some reason,
I can't see any numbers at all.
People are.
They love us.
Whenever you come on, people are interested in what you say. I can't. You have some type of magic formula, but people. It's been 3.5 hours, and we've consistently had the same numbers.
Wow.
So people want, and this was. I just want y'all to know. This was her idea. I just provided the platform. The last show she did with women's empowerment, that was her idea. I just provided the platform.
Yeah, I would love to be on the show eventually in the future. That'd be great. I actually love the show. Y'all have me laughing. So, like the last one, I was laughing so hard. I was like, I had the earphones in. I was like, these on the trip. But yeah, well, I mean, I won't mind being on here. I actually wouldn't mind networking, collabing, and this was someone I can relax because I'm so formal on the other things. I'm like, oh, so serious. So I'm like, oh, I can relax.
Yeah,
right. Kick back and
can we 420 it out next time?
You know what? You know what I'm be doing? I'm gonna be over here painting somewhere.
I mean, that's the time you're supposed to be meditating and connecting.
Ain't no wrong 420, ain't no wrong 420. I ain't got nothing against it. Okay. I like, well, that's better than any other other drugs.
No, we don't do none of those.
No, none of that. Like 420 is way better.
And 420 is not a drug. It's from the
It's
earth.
not. That's what I'm saying. It's not a drug.
It's from the earth.
It's not a drug.
Y'all vegans and don't mess with the greenery.
It's an herb. It's
an herb.
It's an actual herb. It's from the earth.
It's the healing of a nation.
It's the healing of the nation. It's beautiful.
Okay.
I have never smoked herb in my life. I drink herbal tea. Okay.
They be putting cabbage in hemp blunts.
So you said what? Cabbage and hemp blunts. What?
Y'all be smoking cabbage and hemp blunts.
I have never seen anyone smoking weed do anything crazy.
I smoked the CBD blunt.
I've never seen anybody now with somebody on pills and stuff like that. I've seen them do the craziest thing. So like I'm convinced like weed is a thing to do. I mean, like if you do something, do weed. Just go and smoke some weed. Don't do nothing else.
Because you be chilling out.
Nothing else.
No, I'm that Negro that'll make a bong out of apple.
Look, I'm just saying nothing else. I'm just saying I've never seen anybody smoke weed go kill somebody because somebody I'm like, what kind of drugs are what are they putting? Like, what is out here that people doing these? I'm like, I ain't trying none of that.
That syrup and stuff.
Syrup, codeine, whatever they put together, they can stop it. Look at Lil Wayne. That man
He an alien.
He look cracked out.
Hey.
Anyways. Yeah. I mean,
y'all turned up over there.
We have Katie Talk in the building. She's in Little Rock. She pulled up on us for this potting and all of that good
stuff. She was so pretty. I
like her.
Hey, Katie, what's up with it?
Hey.
Boy, State Gang doing it up. Boy, State Gang doing it up.
Thank you.
Hey,
she's
so pretty.
3.5 hours late for the show, but you know, that's what black women do.
Whatever. She came right on time.
Yeah, she's so pretty. That's like Joy. Oh my gosh. Such pretty women.
Yes, we everywhere.
Right. I don't know, like, oh, is Tina still on the phone?
That girl went to sleep.
Tina went to bed.
She hung up and went to sleep on us.
3 hours later. I'm like, I'm gonna text her. I'm like, why you went to bed? Anyways, y'all, we're gonna keep on talking for a good 30 minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and watch this faith show and just go on be inspired. And I have to get ready for a birthday party for a 9-year-old. A Halloween party, and I'm gonna be a sexy Harley Quinn. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll see y'all.
Y'all don't want to leave us?
No, I couldn't find my mouse. No, I ain't got my keyboard and all that stuff hooked up right.
All right, y'all. How you gonna get out of this thing? I know we in the show.
So are we officially ending the show?
Yes, we're done.
Yes.
All right, niggas. I got shit to do anyway.
Next show is going to be Halloween and Christians.
We're gonna be live tomorrow with Philly Phil and Katie Talk.
What you say? Y'all gonna be live where?
We'll be live. We're in Little Rock right now, and we're hooking up with another content creator who's a mukbanger, and they're gonna show us around town tomorrow.
And Katie is Soto Gang too.
Okay, look, just get my get my information. I do have to plan for a birthday party and get my outfit together. Got your outfit.
If you have my notifications cut on your YouTube channel, you can't miss it.
Yes, I have your notifications. Yes.
Well, all right, y'all. As always, if you don't like, share, and subscribe my channel and everybody else's channel who has dropped their link and participated in this conversation tonight, you ain't black. We out.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating.
Affiliated, raised with the killers. Way before Facebook and Twitter. Bad guy feel like the real. The land, the odds feel like the wizard. Met a chick, say her name Crystal. Booty big, soft as a tissue. Corporated, started from a dealer. Steel curtain just like the Steelers. I'm in traffic doing what I want. Promoters calling way from Arizona. Couple more come from Oklahoma. Pockets bigger, you can say they grown up. Own pistol, never need a loaner. Own clientele, I've been a corner. Willie Nelson, guess I've been a stoner. These rappers fake. Bart Simpson, Homer. Saddle up, but we ain't ride horses. Designer shoes, but still rockin' forces. In the trap, we never had choices. I'm paranoid, I think I'm hearing voices. Seeing what I say, I'm paying portraits. No matter what, you never can afford it. I'm the shit, I think I need a toilet. Out of sandwich bags, I guess I gotta foil it.
Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeky. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Foreign chick in a foreign two-seater. Black car, 50 cal, Desert Eagle. Car work, break bread with my people. Octane stay smoking on the reefer. Head to toe, stay fresher than a preacher. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeky. No smoke, no beef like vegans. Money long, I'm good, I'm eating. Hotline, my phone stay ringing. 4 grand iced out my pink. Too loud, smoking gas, no secret. I fought a loop, late night creeping. Too high, too throwed, I'm geeking. Party all night, ain't no sleep. Money up, I'm good, I'm eating. Red bone from the back, I'm beating. She calling out my name like the weekend. Drippin' sauce, steady nutrient. Hopping out, feeling coopage. Drop the top, I don't know where the roof is. I stay in exclusive, Pussy Canna Resort all inclusive. I don't want that little bitch, she a nuisance. Throw the brain drop, I'll throw them deuces. Golden State, all my niggas some shooters. 50 cat F&M and them Rugers. Told the package, I'm flexing, let's Luger. On the prowl for some milk for some cougars. 12 inches, they calling me ruler. Dick 'em down when I'm done, call her Uber. Dick 'em down when